Greetings, everybody. Good evening. Salute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Let me know how we doing on the audio.
You're good.
All right, all right. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Saturn day evening? On this 4-4?
All right.
Indeed, indeed. Want to say first and foremost, welcome
I don't hear shit.
to everybody that has pulled up, everybody that signed up for this free workshop. I want to say honors, and I really appreciate the overwhelming support that I received when I made this announcement. It was only like I think like 2 days ago, and we literally got about 200 people that signed up. So that means that the interest in this new technology is overwhelming, and we will be delivering tonight. So in the interim, I'm gonna let everybody get in the building and whatnot. Definitely have your pens and pads on deck. We are going to have the replay
I don't hear
available.
nothing.
Um, we'll have the replay available, but in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna give you a little tidbit. In this new era of AI, note taking, right, is a superpower. Okay, note taking, something that we might overlook, is a superpower, and I'll show you some of the things that I do to I'll show you some of just what I do with some of my notes and how I use my notes and how I use AI together to develop, a little bit more understanding about what I've taken notes with. But I definitely suggest that you write down things, write down your questions. That's important. At the end of the demonstration, we're going to do a Q&A. So definitely have your Q&A, have your questions, whatever. I don't want you to interrupt in the middle of the presentation and whatnot. I'll open up the floor for a Q&A in the middle of the presentation. I won't wait to the end for anybody that has things to do because it is a Saturday. Know that this is being recorded and the replay will be emailed to everybody who has signed up and RSVP'd and whatnot. So I'm gonna give everybody about 5 minutes to get. There's an echo. Yeah, I hear an echo. Okay,
No echo.
no echo on your end. Okay. Um, yeah, I didn't hear one neither. So yeah, give everybody about 5 minutes and then we are going to get started. All right. So yeah, I'll be right back.
Some of the guys
All right, all right. So before we even begin, I want to ask a few questions just so I can assess where everybody is at in terms of their levels, their skill levels, and whatnot. So before we even begin, by pressing either number one, let me know if you ever heard of OpenClaw by pressing number one. It's called ClawBot and OpenClaw. They have two, they've been going through renames and whatnot. And press number two if you never heard of it, you just heard me talk about it, and you want to see what's going on in the world of AI and whatnot. Okay. Um, if you haven't been hearing about OpenClaw, I would say fix your algorithm, and that's in no type of way to be facetious and whatnot. It just means that the conversations that are going on, they have you in an echo chamber. The way that the algorithm works these days is it's different. They switched it up and whatnot. So you're not going to necessarily get the news that your followers or your friends are putting out. This algorithm is based off of what it is that you like. So it's a like based algorithm, and they're going to keep hitting you with things that they think that you like. So, you're gonna hear about Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Man all day. You're gonna hear about the war all day. You'll hear about a lot of things that are not necessarily going to put you in the type of position that you need to be put in. And why this is important is because in this day and age that we're in right now, we have to literally get the info because the news cycle has changed as well. The news cycle has dramatically shifted and changed, and things are happening at a very, very fast pace. How many people in the building have been are aware of the fact that we are in the quantum quickening and time has sped up? Who's feeling it? Right? So we're no longer in the traditional 24-hour news cycle or the traditional 24-hour cycle anymore. We have now sped up. And with time speeding up, right? In order for us to not feel that quote unquote fatigue of time speeding up, but you're not speeding up, we want to align ourselves with things that are moving as fast as the quantum time, right? Ultimately, it would, my recommendation would be to get into quantum computers or get into the quantum internet. But that's a conversation that we'll probably have 6 months from now when it becomes a little more onboarded. It's out right now. You have access to the quantum technology, but that's a little too far ahead and whatnot. We'll just deal with the agentic AI. So if you want to move at the pace that time is moving in, you have to change, you have to switch up, and you have to upgrade the things that you've been doing because you're no longer living in the same paradigm anymore. Do y'all? I mean, and I don't want to. I don't want to go over nobody's head. I don't want to make this super metaphysical either. I'm just gonna give you some of the basics and whatnot. Now, the monetary system has changed. I don't even carry cash anymore. You feel me? I'm tapping everything. Everything is digital with my money and all of that. The way that I receive information has changed. The way that I even put information out has changed. And I am on a quest to tap into whatever can help expedite or speed up what it is that I have to do. Because what I've realized in my later days is that the biggest asset or the most valuable asset that I've probably didn't notice before is time, right? And time is an asset that you cannot purchase. Time is not an asset that you can hedge against. Time is not an asset that you could basically barter someone for. Time is something that you have to reclaim. And one of the great things about the technology, albeit I could give you a 3 hour show on the cons of technology. So for the record, I'm not standing on here as a technology um profiteer. I'm not standing in the pulpit like technology is godsend. I'm very well balanced. I could give you 3 hours of a con of the cons of it, right? And I could give you 3 hours of the pros of it. Tonight, I'm gonna give you we'll probably be here maximum 2 hours. I'm gonna deal with the pros on this 4-4. We'll deal with the cons. I'll send out a free masterclass and we'll just tear down the whole thing and we'll break it down and we'll point out the demon star, the algo, the algorithm, the show golf, you know what I mean? AI drinking water, all of these things. We'll talk about that. But what I want people to do tonight is I want to help y'all claim your time back. I want to help you claim your freedom, right? And what is your freedom? How many people in the chat ever came across a book called The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss? He used to be uh Tim Ferriss is he has a podcast, but he put a book out called 4 Hour Work Week. Not 4 day work week, 4 hour work week. I read it in 2011. Blew my mind. And back then, the technology, the framework, and all of these things did not exist for somebody to successfully say, yeah, I got a 4 hour work week. I'm a digital nomad who travels the world and whatnot. I'm a person who reclaimed my time. I have an automated company working for me. When I read it in 2011, I really couldn't wrap my mind around how could somebody do something like that. What's possible? Like what technology is even possible till someone can automate a business? How is that possible? What I knew back then was virtual assistants. I knew about Fiverr outsourcing to the Philippines, outsourcing to Africa for their labor force. That's what I knew about. I knew about that. And I was like, is that what he's talking about? And even in the book, he kind of like that was the beginning of his formula that he was putting out there. Fast forward to where we are right now in 2026, that reality is not only in front of us, but there are so many people who are living that reality. There's blogs, there's people going viral on YouTube, IG, TikTok. There's the Thailand movement. You feel me? There's the there's a South American movement. I don't want to call it passport bro movement because everybody that's moving and grooving, sliding around the world, they're not on passport bro timing. You feel me? There's family members, there's brothers with wives and families and whatnot going from. I just saw a brother today go from Thailand to Vietnam with his family and whatnot, and you know he's doing his thing in the digital economy world and whatnot. To make a long story short, I want to present to you an opportunity tonight, right? That has fallen in the laps of all of us, right? Even if nobody told us that this opportunity is in front of us, right? I want to just hip everybody in the building about this new technology that's here that each one of us has full capabilities, full quote unquote sovereignty over, and full access to. There's nobody in your way. There's nobody trying to take something. There's nobody telling you what you can and can't do. None of that is in that. So we're gonna get that completely out the way. We not playing no victim mentality. There's nothing to be victimized. We ain't trauma bonding tonight. You know what I'm saying? This is not a feel good presentation as well. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to deal with realism, but to be honest with you, in a day and time where there's so much negativity going on, there's so much trauma based things taking place, I just want to bring somewhat of a balance and bring somewhat of a ray of light in our collective reality so we could begin to unlock the possibilities, because what this technology does beyond anything is it unlocks your mind. Our minds have been trapped, similar to how my mind was trapped when before I read the book 4 Hour Work Week. My mind was somewhat trapped and I felt that I had to work um a 4 day work week at least. You know what I mean? I would take off Saturday. No, I wouldn't take off Saturday. So I was literally working a 6 day work week and when I was working in Harlem as an entrepreneur and whatnot. From Sunday to Saturday. Okay? From Sunday to Saturday. I was busting my ASS. You feel me? Putting in that work. And the thing that I've learned is to work smarter and not harder. You don't have to work. You don't have to. I mean, that's the mentality, and I love our elders, and I respect the generations that came before me. But that's not where we are right now. That's not an indicator of of a man and whatnot that your ass have to slave for somebody else. By show of hands, press one if you're ready to fire your boss. Okay? Press one if you're ready to give your boss the walking papers. You know what I mean? Not a pink slip, not that you leaving and whatnot. No, you firing your boss. Not your boss firing you, because there's a lot of articles coming out about people being laid off, people being fired. The article about what they did at Oracle really turned my stomach. They gave these people email at 6 a.m. in the morning. You know, you got to get up early, get ready for work. They got an email at 6 a.m. in the morning from a $30 billion company, Oracle, right? This Larry dude, he's a human. He been getting built. He's like one of the richest men in the world. And they hit their asses with a 6 a.m. email and terminated 30,000 of them. I'm like, damn, they playing, you know what I mean? They playing the game cold and whatnot. What? Yeah, he owns TikTok. This is the person that bought TikTok for Israel and whatnot. So he's firing 30,000 people. And why is he firing 30,000 people? Because the guy from Nvidia, and this is not the only reason it's happening, but it's going to accelerate when you see these $1 trillion CEOs get on these stages and they start talking about the new technology. Majority of the CEOs know about the new technology months before the public does, right? They'll come and sit down and tell them. They go to conventions, they know about what's going on before the employees do. So when the guy from Nvidia got on the stage at their development about 2 weeks ago and he said the most important invention in the world of technology is the claw bot, or what they call open claw, right? And he says every single enterprise business has to have an open claw. And when those CEOs heard that, and when those managers heard that, right? They were like, okay, that's the call that we needed, because he's considered the top dog. His company sits at the top of the stock market and whatnot. And he personally said that this technology is the future. And what he's talking about is agentic AI, right? Agents that can run your company almost better than a human can. That's not me saying it. I don't think that AI could work better than a human. I feel that it has better computational skills and whatnot, but you can't take away what a human has, which is sentience, right? We have emotions, we have instinct. We can, the way that we think, right? The way that we can pull things, the way that we could put things together. We have memory, we have experience, we have DNA that goes millions of years back when we activate it. You feel me? We have a connection to nature. The AI does not have a connection to nature. The AI cannot ground. The AI can't sunbathe. The AI can't sun gaze and whatnot. The AI is not getting neutrinos from the sun when we getting solar flares. The AI's DNA does not upgrade. Okay. Ours does. And we have culture. Thank you. Right. So I want to do away with this quote unquote this propaganda that these quote unquote businesses, these are think tanks that come up with the narrative and the script to give the people. Make no mistake about it. The one of the most one of their main goals is to do what? Is to dissuade us, right? Is to make our people. When I say our people, it's 100 of us in a building. You know who the hell ours is, right? They want our people to live in fear. They want our people to live in lack. They want our people to feel like the world is ending. How many times was the world supposed to end for us? Give me a count. I said 44. I say about 44 since I've been around. I heard them say that the world was finna end for us. They done put us on a fear train about 44 times. You know what I'm talking about? I tell some of my elders, stop watching the news because they out there cooking your wigs. You know what I mean? They got y'all in the twilight zone. They got you in the twilight zone. You don't want to build. You don't want to think 20 years in the future. You don't have no long term goals and whatnot because these people keep rocking you to sleep, telling you that the world is going to end. And because so many of us have what I would call a religious background, right? That is somewhat, they're speaking to somewhat of a, hold on, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Because so many of us have a religious background, they're speaking, they know how to trigger the training. They know how to trigger the programming. They know how to trigger this eschatology thing that exists in so many of us who have gone through Islam, right? Because I'm not going to just, it's all of the religions and whatnot. So they're speaking to some of the fear factors that was implanted into us in Sunday school and things of that nature, right? Oh, the world is going to end. The world is going to end. It's over with. Nah. That your world ends when you take your last breath, and that world that you were a part of, when that's when your world ends. Other than that, you should be living your life to the fullest. Okay, because there's a lot of people who are not here, who did not make it this far and whatnot. So I'm living for them. And once again, what the news will never do is the news will never give you super positive news. They will not do it. They're contractually prohibited from even doing that because if they were to tell you something progressive about a company, that would be called insider trading. They would get a violation from the SEC. All right? All they can do is give you fear. All they can do is give you negatives. They can't give you the positives. The positives in a company is called advertisement. Trinity has her hand up. Was okay. Yes, Trinity. So the positives is called commercials. That's when you hear the positivity about a business. It's called advertising. They pay very heavily to quote unquote be there. They pay heavily for those slots so they could push positivity for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and it's called a commercial. Then you get back to the news and they're dealing with negativity, who got killed, who got robbed, who this, who lost their jobs, all of that stuff. Stop paying attention to that. I mean, I'm sure that I'm speaking to the choir and what I'm sure that I'm not telling y'all nothing that you don't know, but we can't keep getting rocked to sleep because I'm seeing the effects of them telling our people to look this way, right? While they're looking that way. And while they're looking that way, they're building their future and whatnot. They got us looking this way, I mean, or bury your head in the sand like an ostrich and whatnot. Nah, we ain't doing that. We kicking the door down. You feel me? We kicking the door down because we smell opportunity. So I'm here to let you know that opportunity has arrived. This is, and it's not just open claw. It's the age of the agents, right? So a shift has taken place inside of the AI spectrum and whatnot. Um, in 2003, we were introduced into the age of the chatbot, and that was the rollout of ChatGPT. The chatbot is considered to be a responsive AI. And what is a responsive AI? It will not respond until you prompt it. Okay. So it's dormant, right? It is a chat bot, right? It speaks back to you, but you actually have to speak to it. Fast forward to where we are right now, we're in the agentic AI age, and those are proactive. Those are not responsive. Those are proactive, meaning that the AI agent will work. It will act before you even say anything to it. There are AI agents that can check your email for you. There's AI agents to go order the DoorDash for you. There's AI agents that will set off an alarm or a notification at certain hours for you. There's AI agents that they will make this video in the background with just one prompt for me. They'll make 1,000 videos like this. While I'm talking to y'all, I'll have AI agents making videos for me, making commercials for me, putting together scenes and whatnot. There's AI agents that'll write a book for you while you sleep. There's AI agents that will do all type of stuff for you. So for those of us who've been doing so much for so many people for so long, it's time to breathe. It's time to relax. It's time to take a breather and say, God damn it, finally something out there is working for me. So when you hear these reports of 30,000 black women unemployed or being fired and whatnot, I'm like, shit, that's a plus if they know what's going on. So they're not giving them the full story. They're just giving them half the story. That's why knowledge is power, but knowledge applied is more than power. Knowledge applied, which is called kinetic knowledge, is unstoppable. Okay. So where this thing is going to take us, I don't know because the possibilities are endless. But what I do know is if we don't do nothing with the knowledge, we're not going nowhere. Nothing is going to happen. The way that they have written us out of history and the way that Pete Hegseth and Donald J. Trump and the rest of them people, if they had it their way, we'd be at the bottom of the ocean right now. The way that they're writing the script, they got us written off in a very near future. Oh, send them to war. We need a reduction in population and all of that type of stuff. They don't have none of that. You heard him the other day say, we don't got no money for health care. Daycare? You mean them children? Yeah, F them kids. That's what the president said. And then people went to work the next day. But because of the financial situation in America, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? What could the people do? They got to go to work. At this point, they got them by the balls and whatnot. Inflation, all type of stuff, keeping up with the Combs and the Jones and the Carters. You know what I mean? The Jay-Z tickets, you got to pay those off. You know what I'm talking about? All of these obligations. We're living in a vassal state right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna get the technology and I'm gonna do what I need to do to build myself out of this situation. And how am I gonna build myself out of this situation? With my mind. Okay? With my mind. I'm gonna mine my business and I'm going to mine my mind because my mind is the gold mine. All of this is possible through my mind. I could put a claw bot in front of anybody. If your mind can't conceive what to do with it, it's just an empty Mac mini, right? It's just an empty Mac, right? This is what it looks like. Some of them, not all of them, but this is a Mac, right? This is a Mac. Okay. People are using these, right? The Mac Minis. They're using this is a Mac Studio, so they have the slimmer version called the Mac Mini, right? I have it over there hooked up to my other computer and whatnot, right? I paid $400 on eBay in February for the Mac Mini. Okay, it took about 7 days to come to me and whatever, and it took me 8 days to put the whole thing together. Why? Because as with everything that comes right out of the box, or with everything that's basically a new technology, it's always going to have bugs. It's always going to have a learning curve. It's always going to have, um, you know, it's going to be trial and error. Thank you, Glow. So I walked so we could run, right? I was able to walk so we could run in the time from when I was able to set the clawbot up into where we are today. Now they have systems where you could deploy that in about 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, right? So it doesn't take 8 days anymore and whatnot. But in those 8 days of configuration and whatnot, I got wiser. I became more of a techie. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself to be a super blurred and whatnot. I became more of a lower level developer. I was able to learn new words, new terminology, because one of the things that keep our people kind of intimidated in this new world that we are in technology is the quote unquote lingo, or what we call the lexicon, similar to what any one of us would get hired in corporate America. There's a corporate lingo, there's a corporate lexicon. They even have books that they give you. They'll give you a whole binder and whatnot. The whole binder will have corporate jargon, because at this company, you feel me? Freeze means something different than freeze means in the world. Freeze is an acronym inside of this corporate business. Slime is an acronym. Safe, levels, integration, monetary, advancement. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, any, you know what I mean? They have all of these. Yeah. So the SOPs of a business will break down with the, and let me just show you this real quick, right? And I don't want to be all over the place, but I want to get the information out, right? So, one of the best things that you can have right now in this AI world that we're in is a printer and a binder and one of these. Because I went through an incident a few years ago where I had about 100 tabs open, and these were the tabs that was gonna get me into paradise. I mean, every single one of them tabs was like $1 million website. I'm talking about, it was the best websites that I've ever come across, to the point that I couldn't close the tabs, because I was like, each one of these sites are so important. Y'all know how that goes. And then the computer crashed and I lost all of my tabs. I didn't back them up. I probably was on the floor for like 3 days and whatnot, boo hooing. And after that, I said, never again. That's never going to happen to me again. Right. Because I had all of the information that I needed. Right. Yeah. This is a three-hole puncher. If you have a business account, you could go to Uline. Don't try to wing this shit off of a regular. Get your business account and go to Uline, because that ink, that's a whole cartel when it comes to printer ink. That's like avocados with the Mexican cartel. Um, yeah, they out here scamming. You know what I'm talking about? They are scamming the hell out of us. Have I tried the thermal mobile printers? Please put me on. Cause this ink right here, this is like a car note, right? But at the end of the day, I said to myself, for what I'm getting from that, right? It's worth every single thing. So I'm putting everything in the book, right? Because sometimes you have all of these tabs open, you could forget about them tabs and whatnot. But when I get up and I'm literally in school and whatnot. I took myself to school. I go to my own school. I'm my own teacher, right? And I'm my own principal and everything. But I literally have my lessons printed out right in front of me now. You know what I'm saying? I could, it's a little bit easier. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my phone. If I write down, like if I scribble a note, all I do is I take a phone, right? I take a picture of it, and then I upload it into one of the AIs, right? I upload it into like Gemini. Okay. I upload the picture. Let me show you how I do it. Okay. Even for those of us that scribble like stenographers and whatnot, you could do that. It will read your handwriting. And I'll say extract the text. I'll just start with that, right? Nothing elaborate, very simple. I'll just say extract the text, right? And then it will give me the text, okay? And then I'll proceed to talk to it, okay? Then I will proceed to talk to it. Then I'll say, hey, can you turn this into a blog, short form, right? So there could be a topic that you're interested in. You watching a YouTube video, 363 Empire, Rod Hayes is on there, and he's dropping nuclear bombs and whatnot. He's saying things that you've never heard before, and you jot it down and whatnot, and you taking notes and whatnot, or you might be watching a video about health and whatnot, and there's all of these new procedures and things. Like, take notes, and then take your notes and then go into the AI. And because this is not Google, we're not in the era of Google anymore. We are in an era right now where we have, quote unquote, this is not a smartphone. This is a supercomputer now. I have the equivalent of a supercomputer in my hand. And then when I integrate the quantum, I have a quantum computer in my hand. So many things could be done. Look, I'm going to go and say, I'm going to go on the same app, right? And then I'm going to ask it to do what? Create music. I said, make a song. Just off of the notes that I put in there. I don't even know if the thing rhymes or not, but I just told it to make me a song. You know what I'm talking about? I could tell it to make that a flyer. I could tell it to make it a presentation. I could tell it to do anything. It's going to do what I ask it to do. You feel me? Here goes the blog. It turned into a blog. It gave me a blog. It gave me a readout. Remember, I literally took a picture of one, two, three, 5 lines, right? 5 lines from Napoleon Hill. It says persistence is repetition under resistance. Okay. And I'm gonna make it turn it into a song or a jingle and whatnot. You know what I mean? They just gave a sister $2 million for a jingle at one of these fast food restaurants. You never know what you could create. You know what I'm talking about? Um, here you go. Here you go.
I show up persistent. I repetition under resistance. NPH. I show up.
Got a bop. It's a bop. It's a little boppington, right? Could be chilling, you know, at under a tree and whatnot, and you just have a great idea. I'm here to let you know that we're in a cycle where your idea can go from idea to concept to actually a product in real time with no middleman. Well, the middleman is the AI, but you don't have to run around and book a session, and all of that stuff is over with. You feel me? The power is literally in your hands now, and it's about how far can you take it with the mind, your imagination and whatnot. That's what's really important. So once again, this is not a commercial and whatnot, but things like this is important, right? Having vitamins, right? Being able to do what? Being able to feed the mind because you want to think optimally. You want to have an optimal mind. You want to be able, you want to get rid of the brain fog. You want to get rid of the confusion. You want to get rid of the mental fatigue and whatnot, right? And like I said earlier, because time is moving so fast and some of us are still moving in an analog type of way, you're going to get tired quick. You're going to get worn out. You know what I mean? You're going to have to move with the times, okay? Or you're going to continue to feel this fatigue. You're going to continue to feel like, oh, the day is running ahead of me and whatnot. There's ways to beat that. You feel me? There's ways that you can beat that. There's ways that you could get in perfect alignment with the, and when you get in perfect alignment with time and the way that it's moving, then you'll be able to manifest quickly. You'll be able to create quickly. You'll be able to think quicker. You'll be able to solve things quicker, right? Here's the Shilajit resin, right? This is from the company V-Cell that we sell to CMOS. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. There's a brother that I bring on the show, right? My brother Hey Rue, right? He has something called Olive leaf extract. How many of y'all ever tried out the olive leaf extract? Oh my God. This is the anti-inflammation plant solution. This will have you in the bathroom, but it is very powerful. I love the bitter taste. Like it's bitter, but I know that it's working. I like bitterness. I like bitter stuff when I know that it's working. But that right there, yeah, that's been helping me a lot. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the olive leaf extract, for anybody that might not be familiar, it cures cancer. On the brother's website, he has testimony. Don't take my word for it. He has real life testimonials. People who beat brain cancer, pancreas cancer, lung cancer, herbal results. Tell them the red pill sent you. Herbal results. He's gonna be. I gave him his own show on Know the Ledge. He's on Mondays and Wednesdays in the Rising at 9 a.m. Brother Heru. Okay, Brother Heru. So that's herbal results. But yeah, let us continue. Um, I'm going to go to the Open AI website. All right. I mean, not Open AI. I'm going to go to the Open Claw website, so we could see what the site looks like. We could actually go over there. We could get ourselves a little familiar with it and whatnot. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me, so this. No, that's no. All right. Little short description we'll read and whatnot so we could become more acclimated to what this technology is. Open source AI agent. Now, before I even begin, for anybody in the building, this is where you get writing with your pad. This is where you start. I'm going to tell you certain words to write down. I'll assist you, I'll help you out. Open source. That's the first word that you put in your journal, in your pad, because I love the fact that our people are heavy on the research. I'm like, let's go. For my researchers and whatnot, the ones that do the deep dives, you're gonna love this. Okay, you're gonna love this. Your brains, you're gonna wake up tomorrow feeling like you're in a new reality, on a new timeline and whatnot. My only question is that you stand on it, stand on that research, go and do your deep dive, go and figure this thing out. Okay, but open source is the first word. When you hear open source, think black people. Why I think black people? Because open source is for us. When they were talking about decentralization, when they were talking about being sovereign and whatnot, the equivalent of that in the technological world is open source. The opposite of that is closed source, or what they call privatized businesses or privatized AI. That is all of the companies in America. They are all closed. The majority of them are for profit, and they're called frontier models and whatnot. As you can see, some of them even are working with the Pentagon, and they are warmongering right now. Open source is for the people, by the people, and for the most part, China. Okay, China, right? The AI race and whatnot is being won right now by China. Okay. Um, and when you see open source, it has many different meanings. It could mean that it's free. It could mean that it lives local on your computer and it's not attached to the servers. It's not attached to the servers of an OpenAI or the GPU of some of these companies and whatnot. It's basically local. It's yours. Your data is not being mined by these companies. They're not treating. They're not training the LLMs, large language models, off of your emails and off of your outputs and whatnot. It's yours. Open source. you want to rack up all, you want to study open source. You want to become an open source collector. You want to go on GitHub. You want to go on huggingface.com, right? And you want to tap into all of the open source projects. I know that I have some KTLians in the audience and whatnot, and I don't want to slow down when I got this pace. So can y'all drop some of those links that I'm sharing about GitHub and huggingface.com, please? Thank you. Yeah, it's called huggingface.com. Okay. And huggingface.com is a repository of quote unquote open source models and whatnot. Let me just take a quick trip over there to give y'all some insight as to what it looks like. Now, once again, uh, these, as you can see, if you look at it, you'll be like, what am I looking at? Because once again, open source sometimes mean that the UI, user interface, is stripped down. The UI is not going to look like the UI of Open AI, or one of these one of these Google sites. But even to be honest, when I think about it, Open AI is very minimalistic. Google AI Studio, very minimalistic. They don't have a lot of the flash and whatnot. But when you get into because it's not about how it looks, it's about what it does. So click on Spaces, right? That's the first place that you go. You click on Spaces. It's an AI app directory. Think Yellow Pages. Remember Yellow Pages? This is the yellow pages of applications. This is the yellow pages of AI. This is the yellow pages of quote unquote tools. You are literally in the equivalent of a Home Depot of AI right now. You're inside of the tool shed, right? So we have 1 million plus spaces here, 1 million plus. And on each one of these pages and whatnot is a whole bunch of either free or affordable technology. Each one of them do something different. You'll just have to read the documentation that each one of them has. Okay, so let's just click on a random one, right? This one says it'll turn an image into a 3D asset, right? And if you know anything, right, then you know how much back in the days a 3D asset would cost, right? To generate a 3D asset, it was a lot of money. You know what I'm talking about? It was a lot of money. It was not affordable like that. You really had to, and you had to spend time. You had to spend money and you had to spend time and whatnot. Let me see if it'll generate that. There's a woman with no clothes. That's one of those old Moorish pictures. But let's see. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Okay. So this right here will turn a 2D image, what they call a static image. It will turn a static image into a 3D image. And when you get a 3D asset, right, you could take a 3D asset and now you could put that 3D asset into a video game. You could put that 3D asset. There's so many things that you could do with a 3D asset. Okay, so there you have it. There's the Moorish scene right there. That's a famous painting and whatnot when the Moors were dealing with the Slavics, kind of crazy. But there you go. They turned it into a 3D asset, right? Now, if you have a 3D printer, you can actually turn these into 3D printed objects. So, of course, for anybody that's looking at something like this, I would say, yeah, go ahead and invest in a 3D printer, because now you could basically take images and whatnot and you could create 3D models, 3D toys and whatnot, and you can monetize that. That's just one of the many different apps that are on Hugging Face, okay, inside of Spaces. So let us continue. I don't want to be here all day. We could do a whole 3 hours on on open source alone. You know what I mean? But it's there. Image generation, video generation, text generation, language translation, 3D modeling, text analysis, image editing, code generation, question answering, background removal, data visualization, voice cloning, you name it, it's there. Okay. So thank me later. Then the other one, this godsend, is GitHub. Okay. The other one that's somewhat godsend will be GitHub. Oh, yes. Thank you. Open Router. Open Router is the unified interface for LLMs. Okay. This is a beast. This right here is a problem. I promise you. Let's check this out. So any model that gets released, right? They call the AI models and whatnot. So just think models. Any model that's released is coming over here to Open Router. And basically what these sites are, we call them sandboxes, right? You basically get to try out the technology. You don't have to go to the site to try it out. You could get to try it out on one of these sites that are sandboxes. Think sandboxes. We used to play in the sandbox as children. So you could play in the sandbox over here. You get to play with the tools. You get to play around with the technology and see if it works for you, if it serves the purpose that you're looking for and whatnot, if it's something that you need to utilize, or if you need to incorporate this technology either in your website or your app. By a show of hands, how many people know what an API is? An API key, I'm sorry. How many people know what an API key? Keyword key, which means like opening up a door, right? So the API key is literally your white labeling. You could white label. You saw that 3D model that I was using. If they have an API, I could take that API key and put it into the code of my website. Now on my website, when you visit it, you like, oh damn, Red, he done upgraded. He's doing 3D now. I ain't gonna tell nobody, but I'm using these people's API. I'm using their key. So I pay like 1 penny or 0.001 penny when somebody uses it, right? But because they're paying me $20 a month, right? They're paying me, that's called SaaS, subscription as a service. Y'all know what a SaaS is when you wake up and Apple done took $19 out of your account and you like, damn, Apple, I needed that. $9 here and there, $10. Yeah, you're getting hit with the SaaS. You know what I mean? That's the SaaS. That's a subscription. You signed up for a subscription and they're providing you a service, right? So that was the big business model for the last 10 years. Once again, they didn't tell us that. They talk that SaaS. They didn't tell us about the SaaS. They had us talking about Sassoon and whatnot and sassiness, but they didn't tell us about the SaaS. Meanwhile, we out here paying all of these subscriptions when you could have just took one of those. You could have took a SaaS model and you could clone it and make it your own. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. You could clone these SaaS. You could take a SaaS and clone it and be like, nah, that's the red pill SaaS. This is the red pill. I don't want to pay Apple this money for that SaaS. I'm gonna make my own SaaS and I'm gonna have people pay me. That's what they're doing right now. They got something called vibe coding. People are literally sitting back and cloning $1 million sites, multi-million-dollar sites and whatnot with these tools. You know what I mean? With Lovable, Cursor, Claude Code, you name it, OpenAI Codex. They're knocking off these quote unquote multi-million-dollar super successful YouTube channels and stuff like that, cooking them, you know, cooking them. So I would highly suggest that y'all look into the SaaS business model. And what is killing the SaaS business model is OpenClaw, the agentic AI, the rise of the agentic AI. But it's so brand new that it's going to take 5 years. Well, maybe not 5 years because it's moving so fast. You literally got about a year or two to just do whatever you want to do because it's new. Nobody, you know what I mean? It hasn't necessarily disrupted the business model of the SaaS and whatnot. You have so much opportunity right now. So I'm going to show you how the open claw or the claw bot fits into all of this. I'm giving you the hors d'oeuvres. We're going to get to the entree in a minute. I promise you. but I need you to understand what's going on and what's out here so we could understand what the stakes are and what type of game is being played and whatnot and what part we can play in it. Okay. So open router, make sure y'all write that down. You're gonna explore open router, you're gonna bookmark open router, you're gonna go to open router every day if need be and figure things out because that thing right there, that thing right there. If you know what you looking at and you know what you doing, you gonna be all right. You feel me? You gonna be all right. You gonna tap in, right? So they even give you the rankings of this. That's why that's the AI has something called leaderboards. So you don't have to worry about janky AI and whatnot because you'll be able to see what's lit and what's not. You'll look at the leaderboard and it's gonna tell you who's at the top. You feel me? And they're not at the top by mistake. They earn their space. So you could basically, and then they have something where you could put the chat, you could put the models against each other. You know what I mean? So you could say, I don't know if I want to use this one, or I don't know if I want to use that one. Well, you put them up against one another, and then you'll see which one is better. Okay? It's called compare. So let me add one model. I'm gonna put Gemma. That's the new one from Google and whatnot. It's a beast. I'm gonna put GLM. That's also a beast. And I'm gonna put Quinn, which is also a beast. These two are from China. Like I said, China is kicking out some top level ish, right? So let me see. They just gonna give you all of the numbers, context length, right? Quinn is a beast. 1 million tokens. What does that mean? That means what does context length mean? That just means when you asking it a question, how many words you can put in it. So 1 million tokens is basically a whole goddamn novel. So one initial question, it could have all of your information from years of your work. It can have your resume. It can have your genome. It can have your birth chart. It can have all type of stuff, and you're loading it up into one question, right? Yo, break this down. You could do it by pieces if you want to, but the context length is 1 million. Okay. And these are just the ways that they basically put them up against one another. So let us continue. Let us move on. Right? Let's go back to the OpenClaw thing. All right. OpenClaw is an open source AI agent platform designed for building autonomous digital assistants that could perform complex tasks across multiple applications and services. I'm going to bring it back. OpenClaw is an open source AI agent platform. It's not an app, it's not a tool, it's a platform. And it's open source. And it got agents. So we're not talking about, I'm not giving you a website of an app. This is not a tool. This is a tool shed. This is a platform. And platforms rule everything around me, right? That's what differentiates it from everything. It's different. It's a whole entire open source platform. Prior to that, you would get stuff like they never launched nothing like this before. This is a brand new day. They never had something as complex as this and it's put together the way that it is, and it's open source. This is mind blowing. Okay, that's why the frontier models, the big boys, are panicking. Right? OpenAI bought them for $1 billion. They went and bought that for $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Because if they did not buy it for $1 billion, they would have got taken out by the lobster claw. It would have became so big that would have became their front facing competition, and OpenAI has enough competition as it is. So yeah, they dropped a few billion for this shit like a month ago. I don't know what they're about to come out with, but who knows? They're gonna come out with something. All right. So it's an open source AI agent platform. The platform enables developers and businesses to create intelligent agents capable of understanding natural language. What is natural language? The language that we speak. It doesn't need code. We don't live in a world where you got to write code anymore or you got to write word. You could just talk to it like, yo, my G, what's up? You ready to work? You ready to get busy? This is what I've been thinking. I'm smoking right now. I got some things on my mind. You want to help me out? You could talk to it like that. Natural language. You don't have to be pretentious. You don't have to come up with all of these weird words. You could just speak to it directly. However, I would tell you that the AI response is called artificial intelligence and it responds to intelligence. Okay. Keyword intelligence. So human intelligence is what sparks the artificial intelligence. Once again, human intelligence is over artificial intelligence. So if it picks up that you have an intelligent mind and whatnot, if you upload your Instagram and if you upload your YouTube channel and if you upload some things about you, it's going to be able to say, oh, this person is an intellect. I'm going to have to respond to them in an intellectual because the AI has personas and whatnot. It can go higher levels based off of how it's interfacing with a person. So if a 5-year old is talking to Chat GPT, it's not going to speak to a 5-year old like that 5-year old has a master's degree. But if you pick it up and you start interfacing with it and it picks up on the fact that you have higher levels of intelligence, the persona, it has like an Einstein persona that will kick in and then it will start responding to you in a place where it's going to respect your intelligence. Okay. So the platform features a modular architecture that allows users to customize agent behaviors, add new capabilities through plugins, and connect to external APIs and services, right? So I use the analogy when I speak about APIs. Let's just think about APIs are waiters, right? The API is literally a waiter. You're in a restaurant. You're reading the menu. You want something to eat. You call the waiter and you order it. The waiter goes into the kitchen and it brings you your food back. That is what an API is. So they call it an API call and whatnot. So when I'm using an API, let's say I go on, I'm go to Nano Banana and I use their API, right? I put their API in my app. I put the Nano Banana in my app and I say to people, if you ever want to change your image up, if you want to take an old picture and upgrade it, or if you want to turn yourself into a alien, then upload your picture and press send. When that person press send, the API call it's like a waiter. It goes into Nano Banana or Google, right? And it gives it the prompt, and then Nano Banana gives it the picture, and then it brings it back to me. That's the call. That's how it works, like a waiter. So the API is basically it just takes whatever you sent, whatever request you have, and it will send it. It will take it right to where the API is from, get what you need, and retrieve it back and bring it back. So I might have an API for video generation. I might prompt a video the minute I press. That's why when you prompt something, you gotta wait for it. Same way that when you make an order for food, it ain't coming out right away. You be nervous, like, nah, I don't want that. It came out too soon. Y'all didn't even cook that. Y'all warmed it up. I'm good. You want it, you're waiting, but while you're waiting, the API is making the call. It's tapping into Google. It's tapping into OpenAI. It's tapping into all of these. The majority of these companies have APIs and whatnot, and then you get the results. It brings it right back. Okay. So, and another trick that I tell people is when you read something like this and you don't understand it, you take it, right? You copy it, you go to somewhere like OpenAI, right? And you say, explain this to me like I'm a fifth grader. You know what I mean? And it's going to break it down for you in ways that you could understand. Okay, because that's very important. You don't want to get stumped because if you get brain fart, you're gonna just be like, you know what, I give up and whatnot. You might move on to something else. No, if you when you're researching something, and the jargon is real, and you don't understand the jargon and you don't understand the words. Instead of trying to take one word and two, no, take the whole thing, go into the AI and say, break it down like explain this to me like a fifth grader, right? And that's what it's going to do. Okay. So what it did is it broke down open claw and it's explaining it to all of us like we're fifth graders. I'm not being facetious to anybody in the audience. I'm just trying to give us this basic understanding of what this is so I don't go over nobody's head and lose anyone right now, because this is very important. This is very important. I want us to be very clear about what this is versus what it's not. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it what it says. It says Open Claw is like a smart robot helper you can build on your computer. Instead of answering questions, it can actually do jobs for you, like using apps, following instructions, helping with tasks, connecting to other tools, doing parts of your work automatically. Boy, I wish I worked from home for one of these $1 million companies, man. I would be smoking the work. You know what I'm talking about? I'll be sending them bodies back. Like, you know what? Here, take that. They be like, damn, this dude must be on mushrooms or something. He must be on shit legit. You know what I'm talking about? He must be on that sea moss. He's working he's a work. I'm little do they know, nigga, the robot did that. I'm over here chilling and whatnot. 4 hour work week. I'm actually getting a tan, and the robot did it, but they'll never know. Okay, they'll never know. Um, so that's what companies are doing. They're getting claw bots to replace thousands of people in so many ways. That is what's taking place. They won't say it out loud, but that's what's happening. The agents are taking the jobs. Simple way to think about it. Imagine that you had a digital assistant that could say, I could read what you want, I could figure out the steps, I could use different tools, I could get the job done. That is what OpenClaw is trying to be. What makes it special? It could work with different AI brains. So it's not a standalone machine. It connects to all of the AI brains that are out there. And an AI brain is called a LLM, large language model. That's Claude, that's Gemini, that's Chat GPT, all of these brains, right? And every brain is different, right? Because Claude does things that Chat GPT doesn't do. Gemini is able to reason and do things that Claude can't do. So there's a lot of different brains, a lot of different powers that these brains have. One is good for agents like Claude. Claude Code is excellent for agentic AI. It helps with the agents. But then the other ChatGPT Codex is good with coding and whatnot. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out which ones are for what. And one of the cheat codes that I showed you is that you go into the AI and you ask it to break things down from a fifth grader version, a fifth grader level, and whatnot. And that way you'll understand things quicker and easier, and you'll be able to move ahead faster, and you'll be able to get more results because you're not going to be stuck trying to figure something out for hours upon hours and you're not getting work done. So it could connect to smarter AI systems like GPT, Claude, and other kinds of AI. That means you're not stuck with one brain. You can choose which one you want your helper to use. And number two, you can customize it. It's like Pimp My Ride. It is customizable. And I know how black people love to customize things. But yeah, you could customize it to your quote unquote likes, whatever your niche is, whatever your powers are, whatever your industry is. And then for monetary purposes, you now could customize it for businesses. Now you're selling it to other businesses. They're selling open AI claw bots for $6,000 to businesses right now, and they're loading them up. They'll load it up with the business information, and then they're gonna sell it to the business. $6,000 to $10,000. You know what I'm saying? They got it. It ain't like they don't got it. They got it. They'll swipe for it. Trust me. When they see what it can do, they gonna write that check or they gonna swipe for it. They'll be a fool to not do that. Um, It can be private and safe. Oh, let me finish it. You can teach it new skills, you can add new tools, and you can connect it to other apps. So it's kind of like building your own superhero helper and giving it new powers. Anybody ever built a superhero up? Anybody ever built a supercomputer up? We all probably wanted. I know when I was playing with toys and whatnot, I used to take Optimus Prime and put extra things on them and whatnot. I remember when they turned Optimus Prime into Hot Rod and whatnot, but I haven't done that lately. You know, is Mini Mac the only option for OpenClaw? No, no, not at all. I'll tell you what some of the options are. It's the one that people prefer, but it's not the only option. You could put OpenClaw on your computers on regular. But the thing with that is they don't suggest that you put it on the computer, your local computer that you've been using over the years that has all of your information. They suggest that you have a standalone. That's why the Mac Mini became popular because they suggested that's a standalone computer that's not connected to your main computer and what, or not connected to some of your main stuff and whatnot for safety reasons. It could be private and safe. Some people don't want their information out on the internet. OpenClaw can be set up on your own computer so your data stays in your own space. It also has safety checks so the AI does not do important or risky things without your permission. It has safety checks. So one of the great things about this technology is, of course, when something first comes out, it's coming right out the box. But because it's open source, what does that mean? With a private company or frontier models, you gotta wait for their developers to upgrade it. You gotta wait for them to say, all right, I'm gonna come out with ChatGPT 4.5 and we're gonna retire 4.0. But with open source, the people are upgrading it. The people are doing it. So you could wake up the next day and there's new versions of it because a developer or developer team stayed up all night and they upgraded it or they added something new to it, right? So that's the collective consciousness or the collective intelligence of the world is now at hand. It's now working and whatnot, and it's doing something called iteration, which is basically just upgrading and destroying, building and build and destroying what don't work and rebuild what works, right? So OpenClaw could be set up on your own computer so your data stays in its own space. It also has the safety checks. Other people help improve it. Because it is open source, lots of people can work on it, improve it, and share new tools for it. That means that the project can keep growing and getting better over time. So, just off the rip, that open source model is something that has to be adapted by our community immediately. Okay? Too many geniuses amongst us, too many people with too many ideas. You know what I mean? It's unrealized potential in this community. But now we've discovered the digital community. We've discovered how this open source community is moving, and I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Okay? Is it possible to migrate Google Docs? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. You put it in a hard drive, and then you plug it into your quote unquote my Mac Mini that I got over there. I have a master external hard drive with a whole lot of files, and it's plugged into the Mac Mini, right? And it's a standalone. It's over there on its own, and I got my main computer right here and whatnot. But I put all of the files that I want to feed to the OpenClaw. It's inside of the hard drive. Um, so the project keeps growing and getting better over time. I like that. What does open source mean? Open source means that the code is like a recipe that people are allowed to look at, change, and improve. So instead of being locked away, it is shared with the community. What kind of people might use it? Kids learning tech when they get older, right? I would say if you homeschooling, give that to the youth, man, from like 7 and up. Give it to they should have their own claw bot. Facts. This has never been done before. This is a new approach to homeschooling and whatnot. Your child has their own clawbot. That's their own tutor. It's going to grow with them over time. It's an intelligent machine. It's going to kick out all type of, you want to teach them math, you want to teach them new languages, you want to teach them science, you want to whatever you want to teach them, you'll be able to teach them because they have something called skills. Think the Matrix, the scene with Morpheus in Neo in the white room where they were sitting down and he said, I want to learn karate. And he uploaded that shit. That's where we at right now. It's not going into your brain. I don't suggest you do the Neuralink, but that's where we at right now. He was like, "Yo, I want to learn karate," and you, there you go, there you go your karate. You said any security concerns? Of course. But like I said, things have been dramatically upgraded and whatnot. So the security concerns that they might have had when they first came out is nothing like that. And then Nvidia came out with something called the Nemo Claw, and that took care of all of the security issues. Nvidia, like I said, is the top company in the world, and they basically came out with their own version of Claw, and that one is heavy on the security and whatnot. So they solved that problem, right? So they're a multi-trillion dollar company. And what they did is they put their developers on the open source, right? Because their developers may be a little more smarter. They have the best developers in the world. They put their developers on the project, and their developers created what they call Nemo Claw, and that's going to be for enterprise businesses, the big dogs and whatnot. But everybody has access to it. So, what kind of people might use it? Kids learning tech when they get older, coders, companies, business owners, and people who want AI helpers for work. Now, for all of my business minded brothers and sisters in the building, you would take this right here and you will reverse engineer it. This is how you make your this ain't the only one, this ain't the only way that you tap into an income stream, but this is how you make your money because now it says business owners. So, all right, boom, I live in Atlanta. I learn about the Clawbot. I figure out what this thing is. You know what I'm saying? I get one. I get familiar with it. I'm knocking on $100 a day. Throwing the suit on, and I'm going to these businesses with a price list. You feel me? And I'm a ask them, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pitch. I'm gonna do my elevator pitch. I might even give them a little one sheet. You know what I'm saying? Something that I printed out, and I let them make the decision. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up, call me. I could change your whole company. You know what I mean? And they'll have to make the choice. Or then I'll go not and then I email certain companies and whatnot. I could get a claw, I could get a scraper and find out all of these companies. I could go and find out what companies got horrible websites and then offer my services to build up their websites. Yeah, load them up in Notebook LM. You know what I'm saying? I'll take all of the company's information, I'll load it up in Notebook LM. You know what I'm saying? I'll find out certain things about them, do the research on them. So when I go and approach them, I have a knowledge of, imagine if somebody walked up to you and they know your name, they know your birth date, they know your sign, they know your favorite food. You like, God damn. You know what I'm talking about? Like either you a ill stalker or you heaven sent. Shout out to La Russell, right? And that will make people more interested in what you have to say versus that if somebody walked up to you and don't know nothing about you, you're like, okay, and what do you want? You know what I mean? So that's where the technology comes in handy because literally you can learn everything about a company right now. I'm talking about everything, you know? Um, Super short version. OpenClaw is a build your own AI helper platform. So it's literally build your own business. Remember Business in the Box? I was on that back in the days. Business in the Box. Remember Build a Bear? So this is the this is the technical version of Build a Bear. This is Build a Platform. This is Build a AI. And it's free. It lets people create smart digital assistants that can understand instructions, use tools, and help do jobs automatically. It's like your own smart robot worker for the computer. It's like making your own smart robot worker for the computer. So once again, I don't want nobody to be intimidated and be like, oh man, this is a new tool. No, it's not a tool. It manages the tools. It is a tool shed. It is Home Depot. And you talking about a hammer. I'm talking Home Depot. I ain't talking about a power tool. I'm not talking about a saw. I ain't talking about a ladder. I'm talking about Home Depot. The super Home Depot too, the big boy. That's what this is. You know what I'm saying? It's going to manage your tools. It's going to put all the tools together. And it's going to show you how to use the tools to do things that you probably didn't even know that you can do. Okay? And it's going to send agents out to work. Agents. A swarm of agents. Think Agent Smith, but the only time around, this time Agent Smith is a good guy, you know? And he's doing things in your benefit. So I just put, let me get the sales pitch version so you could get a little taste of how you could pitch it to businesses and whatnot. Once again, this is highly recommended as a business, quote unquote, to go into corporate, go into businesses, go into small businesses. This needs to be pitched because when people catch on years from now, they're gonna remember you. Don't be ashamed to be the first. That is an arbitrage. That shit will not bite you in the ass later on. It's gonna help you in life later on because they'll be like, nah, they told me about that 3 months, 6 months ago. Let me call. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give. I'm gonna give this person a business. Or if they see something on TV or if they hear one of their celebrities say something about it, they'll start thinking about you because you already came to them with the opportunity. If they not ready, it's all good. You knock on 100 doors and you accept yes from 10 people. That's a formula. You're not going to get yes all the time, you know? OpenClaw is a powerful open source AI agent platform that lets you build smart digital assistants capable of doing real work for you. This is not another chatbot. OpenClaw helps you create autonomous AI agents that can understand natural language, execute commands, connect to tools, automate workflows across multiple apps and services. Whether you're a creator, an entrepreneur, a developer, a business owner, OpenClaw gives you the power to build intelligent systems that can handle tasks, follow instructions, connect to APIs, automate processes, reduce manual work, act more like a real digital operator than a simple assistant. Because it supports multiple AI models like ChatGPT, Claude, and open source alternatives, OpenClaw gives you flexibility instead of locking you into one system. Its modular design means that you can customize behavior, install plugins, add new skills, and shape your agent around your exact needs. So it's niche specific. So if you're a music artist, you build it around your music career. If you are a graphic designer, you build it around your graphic designer. If you have a graphic designer agency, you build it around your agency. If you're a homeschooler, if you're a teacher, you build it around that. If you're a farmer, somebody with a green thumb, you build it around that. You automate things. You make things happen. You're able now to promote your green thumb business because it now can make social media ad campaigns for you. It can help you with your SEO. It can help you with your quote unquote with your scripts and whatnot. I hate writing script. I hate writing descriptions for YouTube videos. You know what I'm talking about? Let alone writing descriptions for like Shopify and eBay and all. I hated that Etsy and other. Oh my god, SKU numbers. It does all of that for you. It could do all of that automated. Um, for businesses and organizations that care about privacy and control, OpenClaw also offers self-hosted deployment options, built-in safeguards, and human verification for sensitive actions. And because it's open source, it's accessible, expandable, and backed by a growing community building new integrations and capabilities all the time. Okay. So let me continue because I don't want to be stuck right here. We got some more stuff to show. Let me go back to the Google. All right, boom. So here we go. Let's click on the website. Let's go to the website. This is OpenClaw's website, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see that where it says OpenClaw in white? Y'all see the OpenClaw site, right?
Yep, we there.
All right. Let me drop the link in the chat. There you go. All right. All right. So OpenClaw partners with Virus Total for skill security, right? So here's a layer of security that they have. Okay. You can read all about that right there. So they're just addressing any security issues. Um, because what's taking place is people are putting the viruses inside of the skills. And then basically when you upload the skill from Claw Hub, right? From Claw Hub, you can upload a skill that has malware in it. So they basically have partnered with this company to protect to protect it from things like that. Um, so here's how you install it, right? Here's basically the install. It's a one liner. Okay. If you put in it on your Mac, you could you know what I mean? It's showing you how you could do all of that. Okay. Then if you want to do a one liner, all right. So this is what it does. It runs your machine. It runs on your machine. Mac, Windows, or Linux. Anthropic, OpenAI, or local models. Private by default. Your data stays yours. Okay. So when I click on it, it'll take me to the GitHub, right? It'll take me to the GitHub repo. And basically, in the GitHub repo is where you read the documents. It's for people who like to nerd out and read things, you know what I mean? Who wants all of the information. You go to the repo and you get that. Browser control, skills and plugins, right? Now, that's the illest thing is the skills. I promise you. The skills are crazy. This is what superpowers it. This is gonna set because there's gonna be people that have claw bots that are like, I mean, the same way that people got cars that is kitted out and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? They're gonna have claw bots that are gonna be like the equivalent of a Jarvis or Tony Stark's type of levels and whatnot. It's because they loaded that thing up with the right skills and whatnot. They might have found a repo with 1,000 skills and they just loaded it up and it turned it into a supercomputer. Okay. So this is what the skills are. It teaches you how to create skills. So you could create your own skills as well, and I'll show you in a minute. You could literally create your own skills, and the skills component is not only relegated to OpenClaw. This is Claude with a D, Claude, Claude. Think Claudine, right? Claude. Think a Jamaican nigga, Claude. They were the ones that introduced skills, but but OpenClaw basically took that protocol and they're using it and whatnot. But Claude, they're the ones that kicked off the skills. And skills was the equivalent, is Anthropic's version of custom GPTs or that GPT stuff that you had custom GPTs back in the days. Yeah. Um, it works with everything: WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Signal, Claude, Spotify, Twitter, Gmail, GitHub. It works with all of these, right? Um, and here's what people are creating with it. They have something to show what certain people are creating, so we could just get a little understanding of what people are doing with it. All right, see what people have built just to get a better idea of the use cases and whatnot. So somebody says, my 10-year-old has been enjoying Mad Libs. While we were out for the day and mostly disconnected, our open claw built us a dynamic version with images, history, etc. It also resolved a tail scale issue and is now ready for personal use. Okay. I created a log skill that captures my thoughts as they move through the idea to decision pipeline. Throughout the day, I send any interesting ideas and it records each as a task. Overnight, a cron job picks up a task and spawns experiments. The next morning, I review the results and I either assign follow up tasks or I make a decision. Each decision is captured as a decision record, similar to an ADR in software, including problem context, considered alternatives, pros and cons, and the final proposed solutions. So, they get into the jargon and whatnot. But like I said, if you get stumped on anything, you just let the AI break it down for you. But it's basically showing you that people are using it for a plethora of things, right? Sky's the limit. Don't be do not think small. Do not think small. Think big. Like delusions of grandeur type big. Think if you're not thinking big, you're not thinking big enough, you know? So that's what people are building. I'm not gonna go through all of this because we do have things that we need to do up in here. All right. So that's that. All right. This is the GitHub, right? Yeah, this is the GitHub. So let me just see real quick. Has all right, let's is there any questions in the building before I move forward? Because I know I've been running for a minute now. I'm definitely ready to take any questions from anybody in the building. Let's go. There's no such thing as a wrong question. Please ask a question so we could get anybody.
Yeah, Brother Red.
Yeah.
Oh, Roger that. No, we have definitely crossed paths, and like you're saying, being mindful of time put in and putting time in as
Yeah.
I engage. Yeah, man. What I did. I'm the one on the big island of Hawaii, nay. Yeah,
Oh,
sir.
salute, salute. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yes.
respect. So as I'm engaging and taking notes, pen and pad, I'm born 1968. You don't know, but I'm, in the art of engagement. And I
Mm-hmm.
have a brother, he on the other side from Ethiopia. I mean, literally, like I'm in this space. That being said, this knowledge that you're putting out right now,
Yes.
I did put it in the chat, but like now we physical. I was like, I wonder what your thoughts would be about because you so current with events. Watch this about your thoughts of not just Hawaii. Nah, man. And they got a weather another storm coming through. By the way, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let it go now. But yeah, there's another storm coming through Hawaii, and Hawaii is very indigenous. So
Mm-hmm.
as I've been paying, yeah, man, respect. As I've been paying attention, your thoughts about the energy collectively from you coming from South America, and that's why this moment right now, I was like, wow, I would love it. Your thoughts about South America and Hawaii, Polynesian, surrounded by water. Your thoughts about what's happening and intellectually property in this class right now. Your thoughts, please, coming in this technology.
I need
Yeah,
you to
man,
be a little
respect.
more clearer to the question though, in
Oh,
relation to what we're talking about right now.
the AI technology
Yes.
and those that are, indigenously, culturally. Yeah, man, respect, respect. And then I'm gonna let it go. We're surrounded by water.
Yes.
Mm,
In Hawaii,
respect.
the Big Island.
Yes, I.
And I know that
Mm,
they making, one thing about the crazy
mm.
ball heads is the crazy ball heads is doing crazy things,
mm,
and they scheming
mm.
on the
Yes,
water, they scheming on the
respect.
land, they scheming
Yeah,
on nature, they doing what
respect.
they've been doing.
Respect.
Um, what we're
That's
doing is the opposite, of
yes, I.
course. So,
Respect. And that being said, that I appreciate that. So I'm a, let it go now. And meaning, because pen and pad in hand. Because, as we melanated folks out here in Hawaii, not too many come. When they come, they come. And they been here. They know. So they say Oprah got some land over there in one of these islands, but I'm going to let that go. Thank you for your
Peace. Thank
time
you,
and your
brother.
presence, brother, man. Respect.
Respect.
Ashe. Yeah, man.
So
Mm.
we got two people that raised their hand. Who else do we have in the building?
Mm. Mm.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, yes. Peace, God.
Man, what's up with the brother, man? Absolute salute, man. You already know.
Salute.
Look,
Yes, sir. Peace
I've
to
been
the
blowing them
NO.
email. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And Mahal the Goddess. Hey, look, we got like 7 books on melanin on every stage. You feel me? From just compensational to quantum melanin. You feel me? The last one was the magnum opus of melanin. We also got something called the legacy document, 571 pages. You feel me? From Al Keebalon all the way to right now. They even got terms in there that I just learned through Claude AI called epistemicide and how they use information to wipe us out. You feel me? And they're trying it right now. My
Right.
question is, how do we use this shit? Because I got music behind this shit. I got a 14-year solid jacket out here, PIA, all that shit. I learned how to weld in the pin, you feel me? Came home and took over Tesla with a Mason as my supervisor named Lee Good, double O D with an E on the end, you feel me? This nigga was a Ascendant Mason that told me he had access to the button. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm gonna run the whole get down. But my point is, how do we use that shit to take over the media? Because I got music. I just dropped a song called "They Don't" on that Ti Let Them Know beat, and I'm shitting on Ti, and I can fight. You feel me? We can get it. Let's stop
Right.
these niggas from selling death and weird shit to our fucking people. You feel me? I got bars. I got people that's ready to get with the program on the streets. Let's get it. Let's shut these motherfuckers down. Straight up.
So I would
How do we
say
use it?
with the right, I would say with the open claw, you basically could create your own label. Like the claw bot could become literally your own label. You don't have to rely on a label anymore. You don't have to rely on what they call, remember, the label is the machine. So this is the machine. But now it's yours. So now you don't have to sign away your rights. You don't have to do the Pusheisty Gucci Man thing. You don't have to get contracted and whatnot. You don't have to be owned by another man and whatnot. You don't have to sign away your image and your likeness to let the machine work for you. What you would do is you would get the open claw and you would study how you could build these agents up to work for you. So while you're sleeping, there's an agent sending your music out. While you're working and doing something else, there's an agent that's posting on your social medias and whatnot, generating images, generating content. You know what I mean? Clipping videos or clipping segments of your songs into 30-minute, 30-second, 45-second, 60-second segments, matching it up with matching it up with visuals and whatnot. And now every other day you have pieces of content that are moving around with your hashtag, with your IG, with your name. All of these things could be done automatically using the Clawbot. That's just one of the things. There's so many other things, but you definitely can now create the machine. And I would say to, I would go and study certain labels that you might look up. There may be a label out there that you impressed with and whatnot. See if you could get the SOP of that label. See if you can get the quote unquote any type of documentation from that label to find out how that label runs and whatnot. Are they using A&Rs? Are they or everything that you can find out? I would feed that into the AI and then begin to clone it and mimic it and build my own system like that. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
one of the
appreciate
ways.
it.
But keep cooking, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Get on one of them tracks, man.
indeed. Financial unity.
Peace, peace, brother Red.
Peace. How you
Um,
doing today?
I'm good. I'm wonderful. Thank you. I hope you can give me some guidance. I just love your mind and how you're ahead of the curve all the time.
Thank you.
So I've dedicated my life's work to financial unity for the global Black community, and I've adopted economic philosophy called Ubuntu-nomics, which we build together, we
Talking about his
prosper
family
together.
for some reason.
Okay, I hear somebody
Every time
speaking on
I ask
top of
about
me.
his
All right.
son, his daddy, oh, I don't
I'll
fuck
mute
with
it.
him. Oh, you don't fuck with me.
Please mute your mics, please. There you go. Thank you. All right. Okay, hold on. Financial unity. Unmute your mic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, you good.
All right, let me start from the top.
You saying
My life's
Ubuntu?
yeah, my life's work is around financial unity for the global Black community.
Yes.
And it's building on the economic philosophy of Ubuntu-nomics, which means we build together and we prosper together.
Yes.
I've done some research around resourcing sovereignty, that's what I call it, looking at capital and capacity needs, specifically for Black-led food cooperatives. But what my what I want to solution through technology is around us getting our money right. How do we fix our individual finances so we can collectively fund the future? My big vision is that our $1 trillion spending power, we're the sixth, eighth largest nation as a diaspora. How can we get our books right to galvanize our diasporic economic power? My vision in life's work is to actualize this, and I would like to figure out how I can use technology because I'm an accountant by trade, so I do bookkeeping, taxes, payroll, etc.
Yes.
How can I could approach technological tools to help businesses and specifically Black-led organizations to get our finances, plug them together so that we can begin to work corporately, and that's how we can build political power by building our economic power. I know that's a big thing, but
Right.
that's why I'm here. I want to just get a little game or just a direction of where to start. Thank you.
Of course. One of the things that we have to do as a community is get the entertainers out the way. The entertainers are perpetuating a poverty-minded consciousness that's stopping these organizations from actually, they're stopping Black people from spending their money wisely. It makes no sense to even quote what our spending habits are when we're only consumers. So today, I'm bringing the opportunity to switch from a consumer to a prosumer, to switch from a worker to a boss. You know what I'm saying? So when our people, because I when our people start switching up the way that we see ourselves, and when we start switching up the way that we do business amongst one another, then things will begin to improve. Um, what this technology is able to do right now is we're able to cut out the middleman, and we can build our own solutions. Amongst these organizations that you speak of, there are brothers and sisters who went to school for technology. They went to school for engineering. They're still paying back those loans,
Mm,
but I don't see nobody utilizing their skill set. So what
mm,
happens is they become part of the brain drain, and they're working for Apple and Google, and they're running to these companies to get paid by them and whatnot, but they never come back home to us.
mm,
You see, so they have multi-billion-dollar skill sets, but it's being quote unquote siphoned off to feed the beast. Like all of those young kids that you see that are 8 and 9, and they in high, and they graduate high school, they never come back. Where do they? Whatever happens to them? Why are they not launching anything? Where's their programs at? Where their books at? You know what I'm saying? They take them, and they're gone forever.
mm,
So the brain drain that we're seeing in this community has to stop. People have to be able to come up with solutions. Too many solutionaries, but not enough solutions. The entertainers got to move out of the way because the entertainers are telling you to buy this, buy that, support this, support that. And, case in point, I live in Atlanta. Every day in Atlanta, at least $1 million gets spent the minute the sun goes down in
mm,
what we call the underbelly of Atlanta, the
mm,
bars, the strip clubs, the hookah bars, frivolously, right? But in the daytime, you can't find melanated people throwing $1 million around in this city and whatnot. They don't invest in themselves, but
mm,
they invest in what we call the foolery and the folly and whatnot. So I don't want to work with nobody like that until I'm not waiting for nobody to get their minds right. I'm just working with the small amount of people that already got their minds right, because focusing on a car that has three flats on the side of the highway and you're in movement and whatnot, you're not going to be able to move.
mm,
So sometimes you got to write off You know what I mean? You have to
Mm,
iterate. And what does the technology do? It iterates. It
mm.
gets rid of what doesn't work and it focuses on what works. So I'm focusing on what works. And there's 100 people in here, and that's what I'm focusing on. If we get our minds right, we'll be a shining example for people. I write a book. I'll put a book out and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I'll send formulas and all type of. I'll do interviews, but right now we got to focus on this. We got to move this way with the people that are ready to move this way.
Ashe. I agree. I gave you the big picture. I guess what I would like to, I'm going to tinker with it, but I would like to see how I can make my operations more
Right.
efficient so that I can scale. And
Right.
I don't know if the bots can, help me
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
that. Do,
definitely. I would
yeah.
tell you right now, the best thing that you could do before you even get to the claw bot is to get clawed with a D. Claude, CLAUDE.
Okay.
Because the difference between Chat GPT, Claude is more intelligent, Claude is more efficient, and Claude has more of a conversational, solution based disposition and whatnot. They're gonna help you with your solution. You could just build with it, and you could help it with your proficiency and whatnot. That's why it became so popular because individuals such as yourself, they found out that it can help them organize. It will organize the folders in your computer automatically. You could feed it files and whatnot. It will put everything into a chart. It does wonders for organization. So let's just start there. You know what I'm saying? And then you could graduate into the open claw, and then the open claw will basically be your operating system and whatnot. It could be your AI
Mm,
brains for your operation once you start figuring these things out. And the
thank
agents
you.
definitely will work for you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks.
Yes. Hmm. So anybody else? Any question? Any other questions?
Yeah, I got you. Hey, gratitude though, Red Pill.
How you doing, my
Um,
brother?
good, good. You familiar with Galaxy AI where it got like 5,000 tools that you have access to?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes, sir.
can we plug in the claw to that, and have create workflows and things of that nature?
Um Galaxy AI in particular, what that's called is a wrapper, right? So what Galaxy AI is using is all of the APIs from Manus, Claude, OpenAI, and things of that nature. I believe that you could use Claude to plug into those. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Galaxy is doing. They're doing the same thing.
Okay,
Yeah. So the your favorite, I would say that whatever those tools are that you favor, like the top 10 tools that you've been discovering on Galaxy, I will go ahead and I will get the AP, I will plug the open claw into all of those and just use those with your claw bot.
cool, cool. Yeah, because I'm like, man, connected with that, man. Yeah, yeah, I got you. I yield.
All right. Who else do we got in the building?
Hello, Red.
Naeem. Peace, Derek. How you doing, bro?
So, man, I
All
got a
right.
question. With the security part of it, I know you said to get the Mac Mini, and how Claw runs off with like GitHub, all the different apps that we use, Instagram, Gmail. So, is there any security risk of us logging into that stuff through the Mac Mini and uploading Claw into it?
No. We
Does that make sense? Like if
be
I put my
more
Gmail.
specific.
Yeah, so like, okay, if I'm letting it run with my Gmail that I'm logging into with the Mac Mini,
Right.
can anything happen security wise while they have access to my Gmail to do any tasks because I'm giving it access to run my Gmail or whatever
Right.
else I'm letting
No,
it log
it's
into?
right. So it's permission based, right? So it's
Mhm.
gonna ask you permission before it does anything like erase anything or get rid of a file. It's permission based. So there's an option where you'll be like always ask permission, or you
Mm,
could set it up to where it's like you could just don't ask permission and just run. You know what I mean? But if
right.
that's not what you want to do, you basically set those guardrails, and any move that it makes where it goes outside of the computer, it has to ask you.
Okay. And one more thing. I know you do. I know what you're doing up there in South Carolina or North Carolina, where you going with the 72 hour lockdown. Will you be
Not
doing any?
lockdown, boot
Well, you know
camp.
what I mean. Yeah.
Nah, I know.
Yeah.
People was
No, not
getting
the lockdown.
flashbacks.
Yeah. No.
It's like
But would
lockdown.
you be doing anything like that? Because I know you be in Texas sometime. Would you be doing anything like that in Texas? Because I would love to attend something like that. I'm just not that close to
I
drive there.
do, yes, I do believe that the next 72-hour boot camp is scheduled for either Houston or Dallas.
Yeah.
We're looking at Houston, we're looking at Atlanta, we're looking at the Carolinas, and we're looking at DC as possible boot camps so we could
Yeah.
work with the people. And I'm glad that you asked that. I do want to pull that up real quick so I could show the family what it is that we'll be doing. And this is at the end of the month. Okay. This is going to be on the 18th of this month. We will be in the Carolinas doing a boot camp. Okay, and this boot camp is going to be based on coming together and basically building with the Clawbot. So I already gave you the introductory about what the Clawbot is, but the boot camp is going to help everybody put the Clawbot together. We'll be working with everyone, um, configuring it. You know what I'm saying? Helping to configure it, and let me just show you real quick. And the premise behind the boot camp is, think about it, y'all. When we're working with the AI, we're able to do things, we're able to quote unquote, get things done and whatnot. But there's an aspect of it to whereas we can work a lot better when we're together. Okay. We're more proficient when we're together. Can y'all see this page right here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So yes, the open claw boot camp, we're gonna be locked in. No, minimum phone activity, just really signal and no noise, right? Signal and no noise. So we could load up our Clawbot with all of the apps that we need to load, all of the tools. We can actually demonstrate and show you how it could build things. We could answer questions. We could do anything that we want to do. We're going to be where? Off grid. Why? Because it's important that we mix up nature and technology. I'm all in with the whole technology thing, but I'm also all in with you got to keep it balanced and whatnot because I promise you, this thing can suck you in and you could become, I'm talking about, you could ready player one type of thing. It could take you off of your path if you become addicted to the digital technology. Like I said earlier, your body, you are ancestral intelligent. You connected to the nature. You connected to the sun. You could get in the water. The AI can't. So when it comes time to think with a millionaire, billionaire's mind and whatnot, why not be on the land? This is a black owned land. These are multiple acres in the Carolinas and whatnot. As you can see, we're gonna be there's also lodging for the elders that might not want to do the tents and whatnot. But we're gonna be in the tents and whatnot. We're gonna be doing bonfires. We'll be doing a little bit. We'll have plant-based foods and whatnot. We might even be doing some plant-based medicine. This is right around the time of 420 and whatnot. So we're in the open. A little bit of horseback riding, but that will be from like 8 a.m. to about noon, and then from noon until 8 o'clock, we working. We getting right. We getting to it. We're building and whatnot. We're utilizing what is called the mastermind principle. And what does that mean? That one brain is great, but two brains are better than one. Four brains are better than two. Eight brains are better than four. We can make some things happen and whatnot. So, open claw, we're gonna be doing I call it a seafood boil and whatnot, a vegan seafood boil, and this is coming up. I'm also going to be offering a live stream option for those who cannot make it. One of the reasons why I did North Carolina is because I peeped the whole situation with the airlines and the gasoline. I was able to kind of foresee it and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, I'm not flying around right now. I'm going to keep it on the highway and whatnot. We're just going to keep it on the high. We're going to keep it local. So North Carolina is reachable by so many different states, right? So many people that DMV, you could reach the North Carolina. ATL, you could reach it. Florida, Jacksonville, you could reach it. Savannah, you could reach it. It's all within driving distance. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do the whole 3 days, you do whatever you can do, but you'll be able to get the recording of whatever it is that you missed. But I do hope that you can do the whole 72 hours with us and whatnot, because this is gonna be powerful and whatnot. This is definitely gonna be powerful. As melanated people, I'm tired of seeing them other people have all of the fun. You know, I'm tired of seeing everybody else have that fun. It's time for us to have the fun. We gonna do this thing bigger than anybody ever do it. Because why? We the ones with 99 problems. So we gonna come up with the 99 solutions. So for anybody that's out there asking about how, like for the sister that came on earlier, I would say write down the 99 problems that we got as black people, and then I'll show you how you could use the AI to solve each one of those problems multiple times, not just one time, multiple times. And in the problem solving, they say if you want to get rich to fill a void, in our problem solving is where the quote unquote bag is at. Like when our people became inventors and whatnot, they was like, damn, we need traffic lights. And dude went home and drew up the traffic light. You know what I'm saying? Boom, traffic light. George Washington Carver had a sandwich with all jelly. He like, damn, we need some peanut butter. He went and made peanut butter. So now we got peanut butter and jelly. So we are the inventors. We are the ones who come up with ideas. We create solutions out of our minds and whatnot. So that's what we're gonna be doing. That's what we're gonna use the AI to do. Not all of us are gonna do it like that, but definitely some of us. So this is not. I'm not. This is not a monolith. You get out here and you do what you gotta do. You don't gotta follow nobody. You don't have to do nothing on no one's time. Everything you're sovereign in your own right. That's why we on the land to give you the, because setting is everything. I could have went did a hotel and I didn't want to do that. I want to do the land. I want to get on the land. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about sovereignty. We talking about digital nomads. We talking about 4 hour work weeks. We talking about off-grid living and whatnot. So just think about it. Let's just say that let's say some of us really get our hands around this thing and start popping it off to whereas we making 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 a month.
Hey, y'all know about Wealthy Bot?
Wealthy
Sorry to
bot.
cut your wisdom, brother, but with the money talk, hey, the boy Seven Bomar got something called Wealthy Bot. You feel me? Where that thing do
Drop the link. Drop the link.
nine
Cause right now,
percent gain.
yeah, right now there's a bunch of trading bots, right? So the AI is so intelligent right now that people are programming. I think Wealthy Bot might be a trading bot. So there's people that are day trading with bots. They're doing the prediction market, poly market, Kalashi and whatnot with trading bots. There's an AI that came out that could predict the future 6 seconds into the future. So people are, you know what I mean? When people get money, they're not gonna talk about it. That's one of the rules of money. The more you talk about it, the more that shit. Oh, Bully got a bot too. The more that you talk about something, the more it goes away. When you got something good, when you hit a lick, you don't talk about it. So a lot of people is quiet right now because they too busy hitting licks. They not trying to, they not dangling, yo, you gotta get nah what if you know, you know. If you don't know, shit, you don't know. I'm good. So yes, those trading bots are definitely something to look at, something to look into. You feel me? But we're living in a very precarious time right now where I promise you, don't take my word for it. Do your due diligence. That's why I'm giving you all of this information. I'm do your due diligence. This is not even a set. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm just telling you what's happening. And I'm also blocking out 72 hours so we could get together in real life, IRL, not this computer-ish. In real, it hit differently in real life, and we could get to building. There's certain things that I can't even say on a computer because Trump and them is running wild. You know what I'm saying? But we are definitely going to have the trader bots information on the trader bots. Good looking on the wealthy bot. If you have that link, drop it in there. They said that Bitcoin Bully got a trading bot. If man, that's gonna be a problem. You feel me? Um, there's a few other people that I want to introduce you to. They got some crazy things going on, but everybody don't want their information get put out there until they ready for it to get put out there. You know what I'm saying? So, um, in the 3 days, you'll be able to install your own AI agent stack from scratch. You'll launch a working autonomous agent. You'll build a custom workflow aligned to your goals, right? So I'm like I did, like we doing the questions and we taking pain points and we coming up with solutions. Oh, this what you doing? Oh, you want to do the music? All right, boom. Here's a workflow. That's your goal. Here's the workflow. You'll be able to leave with a clear path to keep building. After the 72, you don't need red pill. You good. You're gonna be on your way. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to build and take it to your city and start doing workshops and put the YNs, the YGs, the old heads, the unks and the aunties, and everybody that needs this type of assistance, you could boss up. And you could bring them some new ish. Um, Who is this for? Entrepreneurs building and optimizing systems, digital operators and creators who want leverage, and anyone ready to get ahead of the AI curve. No prior AI experience required, just willingness to learn and build. The experience, we're going off grid about an hour outside North Carolina. I mean, about an hour outside of Charlotte. Camping style lodging, right? You could bring your tent, your hammock, or you could pull up on an RV or a trailer. Catered meals so you could stay focused. Don't worry about cooking it. We got you. We're going to have food for those who eat plant based and those who don't. You know what I'm talking about? A structured schedule that balances tech with light movement and workout, plus breath work and focus sessions. Time outdoors to reset and think clearly. Because I promise you, that that separates up. It works wonders. It works wonders when you balance this thing out. You know what I'm talking about? It does. I'm the host, Brother Red Pillar. Okay, AI educator, builder, digital creator, scholar,
Peace,
and a
brother.
master
Quick
student.
question.
And the details is 444. All right. For this trip will be 444. And we are offering 333 for those that are going to be tapping in to the live stream from everywhere around the world and whatnot. So I definitely want y'all to be in the building and pull up with us. This is going to be April the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. The 18th is a Saturday, the 19th is a Sunday, and the 20th is a Monday. Ask your boss, go and wear the Pooh Shiesty t-shirt or just put a shiesty on and ask your boss for the Monday off and just give him that stare. Like, look at it like how, like finesse two time, like, and they'll give you a time off. You know what I'm talking about? They'll understand what you're saying. So I'm going to drop the link right there. Boom. That is for the boot camp, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Let's make some things happen. Let's make this happen. Let's make history. Let's do for the, you know what I mean? Let's do for the babies. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it big. Let's definitely do it big. Um, any more questions from anybody?
Yes. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I got a quick
Yes, I
question,
can.
right?
Peace.
Peace, brother. So pretty much I just wanted to veggie back off what you were saying before in terms of balance. I love that you got the event coming up in North Carolina. I'm out here in the West Coast myself. I'm
Yes.
just, I mean, I have some ideas myself, but I just want to put this out there for the family. What are some things that can be done on this 4-4 day? And there's a lot of cause and effect going on to maintain balance. And by that, I mean, this AI is continuing to develop, but make no mistake, the people that are looking to implement it the most are trying to catch up to the almighty intelligence. It's something that I'm seeing very clearly. Um, how can people find balance with that and continue to upgrade? Because they are definitely speaking for sure. Thank you.
Be I didn't hear you that clear. You were saying that how can people find an upgrade?
Well, essentially, the upgrades are already occurring. And as AI keeps pushing, so is the veil being lifted essentially. So I'm
Yes.
noticing quite a few things myself with the AI and how the AI is allowing me to upgrade myself. But I want to share that with the family. And if there's any niches that can be filled in terms of health and wellness, that's my forte. I'd love to
Right.
help if I can.
Right. So what the AI does is it basically it is going to is going to 10x what it is that you already do. It's going to superpower what you already do. So if you already are doing things that are dealing with health and optimizing the body and whatnot, take that research into the LLMs or the supercomputers and whatnot and begin to build tools, build solutions, build workflows, reverse engineer disease and whatnot. Because anybody that's in the health space, they got health LLMs. They got LLMs where you could create new nutrients now. They got
Mhm.
LLMs where you could create new cures for all type of diseases. They have LLMs that are connected to the genome project. They got LLMs that are connected to the quantum computers. You could create all type of new discoveries and whatnot. So once again, I'm calling for everybody to discover their superpowers, discover your gifts, discover your talents, bring them online. You feel me? Before you sit in front of artificial
Yes, sir.
intelligence, because I'm assuming that everybody's been watching thousands of videos on YouTube. We're all master students. We all been getting our spirit right. We all did the upgrade when the great conjunction happened. Many of us are living in 5D, right? So with all of that, like boom, case in point, this is what the AI. When I see the I see something like this, a book like this that I've been writing in this book, right, for years. So what is the AI? The AI has come to finish my work. You know what I'm saying? This where the billions are at right here. Yeah, ye are rich. I don't gotta do nothing. I already did the work. These is them sleepless nights when I fell asleep with my face on this book and whatnot. I already did the work. I sketched out the future. You feel me? So now it's time to build the tools. Now it's time to build the sites. Now it's time to build the. So I already did the work. And y'all just gotta, everybody go find your old notebooks. Go find your old phones with the notepad and everything. Bring that shit to life. Because sometimes we be looking ahead and I'm like, nah, ye are rich. You already did the work. You forgot because we living in this quickening and whatnot. They got everybody looking ahead. No, get centered and finish your breakfast. Bring that stuff that because you was probably writing in the future. You was don't worry about what year you put it in a book. When you open a book, you be like, damn, I wrote this right now. That's crazy. You know?
Facts,
I
facts.
literally could just open up the book and it's like, look, let me see if it'll go on the screen. Things that I wrote in here is literally things that are going on right now. Well, it's not gonna show it because of the screen. I got something that says VR as a service. Sell affiliate products as a service. You know what I'm talking about? Real Foods of Colombia. I just went to Colombia. This book is like 3 years old, going all the way back to like 2020. But you already got a bunch of stuff that you just need to start building. This conversation is for the builders. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you're one of them, Julian and whatnot. You a builder. So literally, we gotta build. Whatever Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, whatever they doing with the I don't even concern myself because I already know that I know what they doing. I know what they on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I know what they about. So it's almost like if you put fire in somebody's hands, some niggas gonna burn a house down, and some people will make a bonfire, and then some people gonna light the grill. It
yeah,
all
yeah.
got to
Some people
do
don't
with your
control it.
spirit. Yeah, with your
Mhm.
spirit. So I'm comfortable in this space because I know that I'm surrounded by people with godly spirits. You know,
Aye, aye. Yes,
this
sir. I
is the great
appreciate that, Rev.
equalizer. Yeah, this is the great equalizer. It's literally fire. See it as that. So you know what you're gonna do with fire, if you're gonna destroy something or if you're gonna build something. It's really all on you. You gotta deal with that. I don't, you know what I mean? Everybody gotta deal with their decisions, how they gonna deal with them. I would encourage anybody, this is my disclaimer, don't use the AI to enslave us, please. You know what I'm saying? Because people are gonna weaponize it. It's already been weaponized. You know what I mean? But I'd be damned if I sit back and do 3 hour lectures on how that shit is weaponized and I'm not weaponizing it. Shit. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't about to, I'm not going. I ain't going. They talking about they got drones bombing shit. Well, where's my drone at? Because I'm ready to bomb some shit. I'm gonna have them dogs protecting me. I'm gonna have drones flying next to me. You feel
Yeah.
me? I'm gonna have lasers and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have all that. Cause nobody is gonna put me under pressure. You're not locking me down because I don't know how to hack no shit. No, I'm gonna learn all of that. So nobody could cook,
Yes, sir.
treat me like 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 I'm a caveman or nothing. I ain't doing it. So yeah, salute,
Peace, Rev. Salute.
peace. Hmm.
Peace, God. I got a question. I have a question, bro.
Yes, sir.
I purchased a ticket for the event on the 18th.
Yes,
Uh,
God.
I see you say you don't have to have any AI experience, and I really don't have too much. But is there anything that I like? I should come prepared with, like not the tent and all that. I understand that, but like
Yes.
as far as mentally and technology wise,
Yeah, come with them $1 million ideas.
right,
You
right,
know, just come with that. Come with them ideas, God. Bring a if you got one of them books that I got, like if you got one of these books, these idea books, bring that. You feel me?
right.
I really promise everybody this is not one of those top heavy type of things. I don't want nobody to feel intimidated like they're going to a Google outing or something. Like bring your ideas and just bring your be able to see the vision. And I'm gonna paint the picture. Is I'm gonna have other people with me. We're gonna show you what's gonna happen. We're gonna show you what you could do with that power that we gonna put in your hands.
Peace, peace. All right,
Indeed.
thank you,
Salute.
bro. Thank you. Salute.
Where you traveling from?
I'm traveling from Virginia. I'm from LA, but I'll be traveling from Virginia.
Okay, no doubt. I look forward to meeting you,
Yeah,
God.
all the time. Peace, God.
Salute. All right. All right. We have any more questions from the family? Come on, don't be shy. There's no such thing as a wrong question. I'm sure that somebody took more people took some notes and whatnot. Feel free to ask any question that you have about this
Oh,
technology.
yo,
Yes.
yo, Red. Hey, peace, love and light.
Peace,
Um,
love, and light.
I know we've been building on a whole lot of different topics. I had one topic in mind. I've been trucking like CDL Class A trucking like on and off for like last 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at how to tie this AI thing into logistics, like dispatching, things
Yes.
of that nature. Um, I was just wondering what tools you suggest, to get started. What open Claude would be, or Claude would be like a good platform to be able to start putting some things together to be able to, grab loads, bring truckers over. integrating, AI with finding good loads and things like
Hell
that
yeah.
nature. Okay, okay,
Hell
okay,
yeah. Right
okay,
now,
okay,
right now, I would say go to get Manus AI.
okay.
Manus,
Okay,
right?
I've been dealing, I've been chiming in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got Mantis on my phone. And I've been playing with it. I've been tapping in with it. Pause. I've been tapping in with it. And yeah, 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 yeah. I like
Right.
Mantis. Go ahead, continue.
So Manus AI has a new they have a new feature called workflows. And workflows, you literally could tell the Manus what type of workflow you're trying to get. So with your business, I would get into scraping, right? I would begin to scrape my competitors, right? In that field and whatnot. I would scrape all of the top companies that are out there that you know about, all of your competitors and whatnot. I would get all of their information because that's your ops. That's your competitors. I would also scrape certain businesses. I would you need an advantage on getting those lows before anybody else, right? So somebody in the chat said that they built something called Freight Finder OS. Makdi Ali L. If you could come online and let the brother know what you got. And I do have a special guest in the building too that I want to bring on. Uh Let me see if the brother's still here.
Appreciate that, Red.
Yes, sir. But is the brother Makdi? He did drop that
Peace,
he
peace.
has peace, God, peace.
Yeah, man, I built this a while ago. I got a cousin down in Texas. He run a freight company or whatever. So built him a thing called Freight Finder OS. What it do is it go in, tap into all those little sites that y'all have where y'all go to find your loads, but it finds your loads fast and go ahead and send those proposals out. Get the proposals written exactly how you need them written up, asking the person exactly what they need to hear, and telling them exactly how you run your company. You know what I'm saying? And whatever loads you normally get, you would get those lows plus, lows that you probably missed out on by traveling and not having nobody to book those for you. It would already be booking those for you, but
Hmm.
estimate the time that it would take for you to make your trip and get back. So you already have, by the time you hit your trip, in that trip, you already got a load on the way back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to calculate your gas, mileage, and all that for you, just based upon your normal scheme of things that you normally do using the workflows that you already got with your own computer. But I built that with N8N. I haven't done that with the Claw bot yet, but if it's whatever I can do on N8N, I can just put that workflow in the Claw bot and just
Yeah, yeah,
duplicate it for
yeah.
me. You know what I mean? So,
So your advantage, right, being that you've been able to work with N8N, right, and build out workflows, you're going to be able to master the Clawbot environment. You're going
oh
to be
yeah,
able
that's
to, yeah, you're
that's
going
what
to
I
be able
do
to,
already. Yeah, that Claw was right on time.
for sure, for sure. Let me show family something too. I forgot. So here's Manus, right? I got Manus AI. So Manus has a feature, a Clawbot feature. Manus has their own Clawbot, right? So I'm on Manus, just talking to it, doing a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? It's doing research for me. It's doing things at night when I'm sleeping and whatnot. It's doing all of that. You feel me? This is from look, you see how I took these notes? So I took a picture of the notes, like I was telling y'all earlier, right? And I uploaded into Manus because on those notes was my ideas of building something. Those were like my sketches and whatnot, scribbles and things of that nature, different notes. And what did Manus do? It compiled it. Manus, Manus AI. Facebook just bought them for a few $billion and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So Manus, because Facebook is attached to Facebook marketing, right? Meta is the king when it comes to online marketing and ads and whatnot. So they went and bought Manus AI. So Manus AI is sort of like their version of Clawbot for marketing and advertising. So now Manus AI is building out ads using the AI. They never had no shit like that before. So you literally could use Manus to build out an ad campaign that will convert. So this is my Clawbot. This is another one. You see it say Red Pill Clawbot. So my Clawbot over here is attached to my Telegram. So if I'm outside at the park with my son and I come up with an idea, I'm going right to my Claw. I'm going right to my Telegram and I'm talking to it, and it's basically, you know what I'm saying? It's attached and it's doing the work for me right there. You know? I'm going on Instagram. I'm uploading pictures and whatnot. And I'm telling the man is, yo, do this for me, do that for me, make this for me, make that for me. You know what I'm saying? So now you have now I got a supercomputer, like I said, in my pocket, disattached to another supercomputer that's in my office. And this thing is doing everything that I needed to do. It also does, it also does pictures and whatnot. So I said, um, I asked it to create, I said, generate the characters, right? Because it's writing out a whole storyline for me, a whole quote unquote storyline of an idea that I had. So boom, what did it? I didn't even know that it does things like that, but it created the characters. You know what I'm saying? It's generating the artwork, you know?
Yo, Red, you gotta link that to the accounts,
Huh?
like that app right there. Like when it's creating the stuff, you gotta link it to like your IG page and all that.
They give me the option with Manage. You could connect it to all of your social media. So yeah, you don't have to, but I damn sure did. I connected it to all of my stuff. You know what I'm saying? That
Bet.
way the AI gets to know who I am. You know, that way it knows me. So now when the AI talks to me, it's like red pill. Yeah, bot father. The Zoe computer, I use Zoe as well. Zoe is a beast. I'm using Zoe computer. The bot father is on Telegram. You go to the bot father to get your, when you setting everything up, they got a channel called bot father, and he'll give you your keys in order to get all of these things popping. But yeah, this is all of the things that we'll be teaching you in the boot camp. I do have a bonus. Let me pull this up. You know what I'm saying? Because I said the 10 claw commandments, right? So this is the PDF that I will be dropping for everybody inside of the you're gonna have access to this. This is everybody. This is y'all's. Okay. So the 10 claw commandments is basically, you know, the commandments. This is how we're going to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? This is a deeper breakdown of everything that we was going over. Um, so we can have a better understanding of what's going on. But now that I explain what this is going to, matter of fact, I ain't gonna be lazy. Let me read through the commandments. I'm not gonna cut the corners, you know. So let me just do this real quick with y'all. But you'll have access to this for your own, and also you'll have access to the replay, of course. Once again, if there's questions that come about, write them down and we'll knock them out. Okay. Um, so why this matters now? Like, why am I doing this now? What's so important about now? We're living in a moment where people can open ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, Canva, CapCut, Zapier, Make, and a dozen no-code builders before lunch. You could craft a sales page in one tab, generate a product image in another, automate the follow-up in a third, and publish the whole thing before dinner. But having a $10,000 toolkit doesn't mean that you're producing like you have one. A lot of people are surrounded by powerful systems and still stuck making messy posts, random offers, and half finished ideas because they don't know how to turn access into leverage. So because we got access to all these tools, it don't mean nothing. What that mean? It don't mean a thing if you're not doing nothing with it. If you're not completing, if you don't have a system in hand, you just drowning in tools. It's, you know what I mean? You're not really finishing nothing. You're not shipping. The key is to ship. When you ship and you get it out, that's when you could begin to say that you're playing the game. Other than that, you're just in research and development mode. And it's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's judging. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a bunch, when we was learning how to play basketball, we was shooting around for years before we got on that court, you know? But now it's time to get on the court. Now it's time to lace up. Now it's time to get busy and whatnot because now we have the proper tool and we have the proper quote unquote apparatus to allow us to do these things. So, more tools than ever. Every week brings another wave of AI image generators, video editors, automation platforms, no code builders. One day it's a new chat GPT workflow. The next it's a better CapCut editor, a faster Canva feature, or a new Make Zapier integration. The stack keep expanding faster than most people can even test it. More noise than ever. Every influencer has a system, a framework, or a blueprint. One expert says use Claude for writing. Another says that Chat GPT is enough. Another is selling a course on prompts. While your feed is filled with ads for secret automations and AI money programs, the same idea gets repackaged 100 different ways until the signal disappears. More confusion than ever. People don't know which tool to start with, what sequence to follow, or what actually matters first. They open 5 tabs, they try 3 workflows, they save 10 tutorials and still can't ship. They feel like they're always on one tool, one template, or one course away from the breakthrough, but they never finish the thing that's in front of them. Now it's more opportunity than ever. The people who understand structure are moving 10 times faster, right? That's why I said people that's coming out of corporate America and you have that mind or you whatever your planets are in a certain alignment and this is your superpower, this what you do, this why they keep hiring you and whatnot. Yeah, this is for you. This is your time. Nobody told you this. But if you're one of those people that know how to compartmentalize things and you're into the structured thing, yeah, you're gonna be able to win in this shit because this is what it's really about. This is what it's really about. That's why people that are doing like spreadsheets, Excels, and everything, because you was trained by corporate America, you dangerous if you know what to do with that. It's a damn shame that corporate America is not telling you how to use your skills before they fire you. You know what I mean? That's a damn shame. But revenge is best served cold. You're gonna have to come back and knock them out the, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get your skills up and take that company down. You gonna become the competition. The people who understand structure are moving fast, while everyone else is still deciding between tools, they're building, they're publishing, and they're testing and capturing market share. A creator with a clear system can go from an idea to an offer to content to automation in one afternoon. The person without one is still rewriting their caption. That gap compounds every week. Who is this for? This is for the creators. You are publishing across YouTube, podcasts, newsletters, or social media, but your posting schedule is inconsistent because every piece starts from scratch. You have a backlog of ideas, but no repeatable process for turning raw concepts into finished scripts, recordings, edits, thumbnails, and posts. You're juggling Canva, CapCut, ChatGPT, and other tools, but they aren't connected into one workflow. So every launch feels heavier than it should. You want to build an audience and eventually turn attention into products, but you keep losing momentum between idea and execution. What you'll get is a content production system, a template library built around your actual formats, and a workflow that cuts creation time by 50% while making output far more consistent. Entrepreneurs, you are running multiple projects, you got clients, offers at once, but the business lives in scattered notes, half-built docs, and verbal instructions instead of clear process documentation. You may be hiring or planning to hire, but your thinking and decision making are still trapped inside your own head, which makes delegation slow and inconsistent. You're using tools like Slack, Asana, Notion, Zapier, and more, yet they are not wired together into a coherent operating system. So work gets duplicated, dropped, or delayed. You want to grow revenue, but your own execution capacity is the bottleneck. What you'll get is a business operation system, delegation frameworks to make responsibilities clear, and a tool integration strategy that reduces chaos and gives your team a way to actually move. Coaches and educators, you have the expertise and paying students or clients, but your delivery is still manual, custom, and labor intensive, which means it does not scale cleanly. You're building courses, cohorts, or programs, but consistency slips because onboarding, support, follow up, and content delivery are all happening in ad hoc ways. You want to productize your knowledge into something more durable, but you do not have the operational backbone to support strong outcomes at volume. Right now, too much of your time is spent delivering one to one support and re explaining the same things instead of what? Growing your business. What you'll get is a program delivery system, a student onboarding workflow, and a content repurposing framework that helps your expertise travel farther with less manual effort. Then we have operators and builders. You already think in systems, workflow, and leverage, but you're missing the specific frameworks to turn that mindset into execution. You're frustrated by vague, motivational, or overly soft advice because you want clear operational structure, not inspiration. You're not looking to casually explore ideas. You're ready to implement immediately, eliminate waste, and compress timelines. You want a way to move faster without creating more mess and to build with precision instead of improvisation. What you'll get is an operational playbook, execution checklist, and system architecture templates that give you something concrete to deploy right away. Okay? So I'm going to drop this PDF, right? So everybody could read it and study it and get familiar with it. And then I'll see you guys in North Carolina. You know, I'll definitely see you in North Carolina. Okay. Because if what I just explained doesn't speak to you and it doesn't entice you to want to make that move, it's all good. It's just that, everything is not for everybody, but I highly suspect that a large percentage of the family in the building can relate to what's taking place. And like I said, these solutions don't come every day. This is definitely heaven sent, like LaRussell said. You know what I'm saying? This was like manna dropping from the heavens and whatnot. It solves a lot of quote unquote issues, a lot of problems, and it's heavily on the solution based side. So once again, like I said, I want our people, I want our names to be up there. Where could we get the PDF? I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna drop that in the chat right now. Um I want our people's names to be in a history book for creating solutions and basically, coming up with some stuff and yeah, and being able to flex, do your thing, come up with some solutions, create some inventions, do your thing because that's the time that we in right now. Never say that we didn't take up. Let's never say that we didn't talk about it because we had the conversation. So the choice is yours. The ball is in your court now. Thank you all for your time and your commitment. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to building with you in the future and making some things happen. You know? And before we get out of here, I definitely want to open the floor for any questions, any more questions, or anybody want to leave us with a statement?
Red, I have a quick question.
Yes.
What computer do you recommend when people attend the event?
I would recommend the Mac Mini. That would be my first recommendation. Then I would also recommend a computer with the Linux, Linux. Those are also recommended and whatnot. And if you can't view the PDF, hold on. If you if you have a regular uh Acer or a HP, I believe all of those are good. You feel me? I believe all of those are good. You know.
Yeah, it says the content is not viewable.
All right, give me 1 minute. Let me just see. Let me see something. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. And for the ones that are bringing the Mac Minis, I would ask you. You would. I want y'all to reach out to me because remember the Mac Mini doesn't come with a screen. You got to bring a lap. You got to bring the keyboard and the mouse, and we're gonna have monitors there. You got to have an HDMI cord as well. You know what I'm saying? Because the Mac Mini is just the brain. You know. But you gotta have those little pieces with you as well.
Hey, so Red Piece. So once you knock down that computer, the next thing you'll be looking at is buying into one of the or like the Open Claw or Claude or for a subscription, and then
Nah.
it's off to the races from there, right?
Um, I wouldn't even say that. I mean, once it's configured and whatnot, I don't know about a year subscription. You don't even have to go there. Um, you could hook up Mini Max. It's something called Mini Max, which is we're not. I don't think we're gonna be using Claude on the Claw bot, right? Claude with a D. They tripping. They not really they not feeling the Claude because their competitor Open AI is behind it. So they not really feeling Claude like that. So we're gonna go with something a little more affordable because they're about to get expensive at Claude when it comes to the Claude bot. But yeah, once you hook that thing up, once it's configured and it get a heartbeat, shit, it's off to the races. You don't need nothing else at that point. It's kind of off to the races from there. You know, that's your beginning. That's you ready to go. You are ready to go.
Hey, Red, I just want to be clear. Open Claw doesn't cost any money.
No,
Wow.
no, it's free. It's open source.
Bet.
The only thing that you might be paying for is like the brother said, Claude. Cause I have Claude. I have the $200 membership from Claude every month is like 200, and I'm using that now, but they had a leak. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but the Claude code leaked the other day, right? They made them either they made a mistake or they did it on purpose. I highly doubt that they did it on purpose, but when it leaked, I basically got the file, and then somebody went ahead and one of the nerds out there, they went ahead and they created they forked it, which basically means that they built their own version of it. So once my the month is up and my subscription is up, I'm gonna just go to the Claude, the version of Claude that's free. You know?
Hey, Red. Hey,
Yes.
but I think what he's saying because I went on Claude. I mean, we typed in Open Claw, and as soon as you hit get started, it do send you to a payment page.
And what
So I
did it
think
say?
that's
How much did it say?
hold up. Oop, let me get up out of here right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Open Claw dashboard. Create my claw. It say nah, y'all can't see that. All right, look. It say choose your plan yearly. It say 16 a month, build 199 a year, 33 a month, build 399 a year, and 66 a month, build 799 a year. So I think that's where the confusion coming in because it's stay free, but as soon as you get to clicking, it go right to this. So maybe we pulling up the wrong thing because this shit red. You see it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Let me go on the website and check
All right.
and whatnot. But yeah, whatever that is, that's like a SaaS.
Is he
If you,
talking about with Claude?
I think, nah, I think he's talking about Claude Bot, right? Are you talking about Claude Bot or Claude with a D?
Well, bot.
This,
No,
this
claw.
this right here is
Claude
Claw
Bot.
with a D, but we typed in open source Claw, and it came out with that, the little crab dude. The other
Yeah,
one, Claw, the CLAUDE, the little orange sign that
yeah, you gonna
splash
pay
out.
for that. Yeah, you paying for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Claude
yeah.
with a
yeah,
D, you paying for that for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That's
And it's
Anthropic.
worth it. It's actually worth it
Yeah, yeah,
to invest in
we
it.
dropped that whole epistemicide thing off of that Claude with a D, and I was chopping down some of the nerds in Discord trying to talk that shit about my math off. My mathing fool.
Right. Let me go and see Claude. I dropped the link for the gamma for that file. Can somebody check it and see if it's clicking? Let me know.
Yeah, I just got it in the browser, so that one should be working in the browser now too.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Let me see. Cause where I had took y'all to, I did not see anything for no. It didn't say nothing about prices. So be very careful about what you know what I mean? Cause there's a lot of once again, let me drop the link because I don't want nobody to catch on because they got a bunch of, as with anything that's popular and anything that has a lot of people, because people are jumping on open claw because it's trendy and they don't even know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So they got clones out there catching people. You gotta be careful. But as far as I know, it looked like it's free. I ain't paid for it. Runs on it. Works with everything. Discord, GitHub, Clawbot, ClawHub.
It's time to go back into some of those Techno Tuesdays. Uh Red, what you say, which ones will be the most the vital Techno Tuesdays you think that we can kind of go back and relook at some of those programs? I know 52 was good.
Right. I would say, man, it's hard to even pick out one per se. I would go from 52 backwards. I would definitely go from 52 backwards, of course. You feel me? Go to 52, 51. On 50, we were doing, was I using the Clawbot? No, I was using Claude with a D. Had an IRL and we were doing like live demonstrations and whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay.
brother, how do you keep from getting so overwhelmed from all this, all the open AIs and they're constantly changing? How do you how do you do it?
Just keep studying. I'm just studying. As long as I keep, it's like being in school and whatnot. So once again, I enrolled myself into school. So I'm just keeping up with the lessons. The upgrades are like lessons, and the new tools are basically like new classes. I'm just keeping busy. Is it overwhelming? Yes, yes. I ain't gonna act like it's not. It could definitely be overwhelming, but you know, I could have hit you with the CMOS commercial, but I decided not to. But then I used CMOS and chill it.
That's what it is. Yeah,
But
sir.
nah, I would say that the I definitely would say that staying nourished and just keeping a lot of keeping hydrated, you know what I mean? The sea moss, the shilajit, you feel me? Focusing more on like nootropics so I could think better and I could think clearer, getting rid of the brain fog. Things like that have helped me a lot. You feel me?
Man,
Yeah,
that
right
diet,
on.
that food is
All that blue light,
the
all that
fuel.
blue light will kill you.
All that blue light, right? Man, that blue light. That's why I'm saying we're gonna be in nature. You feel me? So we could get that real sunlight. So whatever that blue light is hitting is not even messing with us. We literally have to build our auras up if we're gonna get into this technology ish. We gotta build our auras up. You can't be, you know what I mean? You can't be shaky out here messing around with this technology. This shit is high powered, you know? It will cook you. Y'all gotta show me where they say any type of monetary thing, because I'm literally inside of the open. I'm over here on Open Claw, and I don't see it.
So I think with Claude, you can't use Open Claw.
Yeah. Well, it started today.
Yeah, I got that in the
Yeah, they sent the
email.
email and whatnot. They didn't say that you can't use it. They just charging.
They're charging, right,
Yeah, they
for the
like,
token.
they kind of hating and shit. They're like, yo, it's getting too much motion. So, like I said, when Chat GPT or OpenAI bought Claude, we everybody knew that that was the end of them using Claude as, as a backup. We knew that Claude was eventually going to be like, you know what? That's why Claude started to ship and go crazy with all of the upgrades to the point where they was like that they became the open claw killer, you know? So ever since, because we saying claw and claw, you don't even they threw the name out there, so it's like it's an IP nightmare because Claude, everybody's like, yo, you down with Claw, right? And they like, nah, that's not us. So they don't really like them, to be honest with you. They don't. It's too much. They knocking on their door a little too much. So they pushing them away. That's what they doing. They pushing them. They competition. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
competition thing. It's an AI race. So
Mm-hmm.
they do what they do. But once again, Claude got hacked. So
Right.
their Claude code is basically open source at this point. It's free for everybody. So yeah, they got, you know what I mean? They got some issues. Um, but yeah, y'all got the PDF. I went over there to see this thing about them charging, and I don't see it, but I'll keep looking. Make sure that you're on the right type of page. Make sure you're on the page that I sent you and not something from a Google search, because you literally could be clicking onto a clone site or something that sounds like OpenClaw, but it's just a derivative and whatnot. Because where I have it right here, let me show you. The way that they do it is you gotta put that in your terminal. You gotta load it in your terminal. Everybody don't know how to do stuff like that. But here it go. You see where it say quick start? That's where you get the Claude. Right? If you got a Mac, you download it for your Mac. If you want to use something called Hackable or the one liner or the NPN, these is how you start it, you know? This is how you do it. So once again, you don't gotta be super tech savvy, but it is, it has this learning curve and shit. It does have its learning curve. To do something for free is gonna have a learning curve. Same thing with like Hugging Face. You know what I'm saying? Hugging Face is there. It's a learning curve, but it has the perks versus something getting pulled from your wallet every month. The perks that come with it, you're not gonna be limited with the tokens and all of this other stuff on some of that. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth the learning curve.
Can I go get something other than a Mac Mini
Yeah,
to put this? Can I just get
yeah. I
regular,
was saying, yeah.
degular?
You get a Dell computer. You get an Acer.
Yeah,
Not the
one of
not the
those.
Chromebook. I don't think Chromebooks are compatible because Chromebook with the whole downloading thing. Um, Not a tablet. I wouldn't suggest. But I mean, they are putting Clawbot on Androids. I don't suggest doing it, but the nerds, they figure out a bunch of shit. They putting Clawbot on Androids. I seen a dude with 5 Androids lined up, and he had 5 Clawbots on each, and he had a Clawbot on each Android. There's a visual. I seen a video in China. They had these Chinese dudes. They had like 80. They had 80 Mac Minis working at once. 80 Mac Minis. All of them had the claw bots attached to them, and they was all, you know what I mean? It was all claw bots. So it's like one claw bot could be working for on the prediction markets. They could be trade. It could be an automatic trader. It could be a trader bot. Then the next one could be basically a content creation machine where it's knocking out Instagram posts and X posts and Meta posts and Twitter and TikTok. Then the other machine basically could be another one that's operating your all of your businesses, the back office of your business and whatnot. So it's crazy. It's a dream that I had called 100 income streams, and we're living in that dream right now. We're living in that dream. We literally could set up 100 income streams if we know what we're doing. But so many of us are studious. When we put our minds to anything, we could figure that shit out. The same way that we put our minds to anything that they put in front of us is the same way that we'll put our minds to this, and we'll crack the code and we'll figure it out, and we'll be able to level up straight like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the best advice that I could give anybody. The same tenacity that you put towards learning anything is the same tenacity that you should put to learning this right now. And when we link up on the 18th, whatever you don't know and whatever you need help with, we'll be able to help you with that. We'll be able to assist you with that. We'll be able to walk you through with it. You know.
Peace.
Let me drop the link once again for the Eventbrite and whatnot. Shout out to anybody that got a ticket to the event. But yeah, what'd you say?
I was gonna say I just put a link in, where I send my students to get like a little mini PC. Sometimes
Yes.
I get them for like $80 or whatever, but right now it look like they about $100, $150 or whatever. But it worked just the same. My students, that's what I tell them to get. Just go get like a little mini PC, and we'll get to work from there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Just to get it started, right?
Exactly.
You feel me? Just to get it started, because ultimately, once you start monetizing it and it serves its purpose, then you just go ahead and do what? Go get your Mac Mini now. You know, go get your Mac, go upgrade and get the Mac Mini, because theoretically speaking, and in the in my world, I'm gonna have about 8 or 9 of them, not just staying with one. I'm gonna have like eight. They're gonna pay for themselves. You feel me? If I get a client, let's say that I go to one of these stores and I get a client and they pay me up front, I'm going to buy the Mac Mini. That's going to become their quote unquote, that they'll be dedicated to that business. And then when that business when I if that business ever stops doing business with me, I wipe that Mac, I wipe that clean, and then I'll just have it ready for the next client. You feel me?
Blue, earlier you said something about like if you was a musician or an artist, you could
Yeah.
start record label with it. I think I came in on the tail end because I was looking at something else you had pointed
Yes.
us to. Can you just touch on that just a little bit more to
Right.
I get
So
clarity?
what
Thank
I
you.
would, yeah, what I would suggest that anybody that wants to create their own label or create a digital label, I would go and study Empire. I would study who's the digital distributor? Orchard. I would find out if I could get their if I could get their mission statement, their business plan, their white paper. That's where you put other AIs to work, to where they'll scrape the internet and they'll find all of the information. I would use a scraper to scrape the internet and to look for my competitors, because if I'm going to start a record label, I got competitors. So I need all of the information of my competitors, and then I'll take that information and I'll feed it to the AI, and I'll start building up my label and whatnot based off of the ideas of what I have and the visions of what I want to do and whatnot. And then I have the agents that I spawn, right? The agents that I spawn from the open claw. One agent is the A&R. The other agent will be for graphic designing and whatnot. Another agent will be specifically for getting me onto the streaming platforms, right? So that agent could be sending emails to Spotify, knocking on all of the doors, sending my songs every day to these labels and whatnot. No, to these playlists. You know what I'm saying? There'll be another agent that's specifically for social media. So if I'm doing a rollout campaign, I might forget about the rollout, but my bot ain't gonna forget about it. My bot is gonna be posting my roll. If I'm doing a 60-day rollout, the bot will be, I'll program the bot and schedule it. Yo, on Mondays, 8 a.m., I need you to post this flyer. Then at noon, I need you to post a clip of the single. Then at 6 o'clock, I need you to post the single. You feel me? So that's how you use your AI to work for you. You build a whole entire agency, or you'll build a whole entire digital label, because you're a digital label now. You're more distribution. You're not necessarily Def Jam, but you're more like Empire or Orchid. You know what I mean? Those are successful labels with a lot of data. That's why I said to study them, because your data is gold. Data is like gasoline in the car when it comes to the AI. The more data you feed it, the more gasoline it has. So it could run. So if you fill your tank up to all the way to the F, that thing could probably take you to different states and whatnot. But if you only put $10 in the tank, it ain't gonna get that far. So if you only feed the AI a little bit of data, it's like, even like with the chat bots, you could you they'll know who you are, but if you feed it a markdown file of all type of information on you, then it's like feeding that's data, that's rich data, and that AI is going to respond to you differently. It's running on a full tank. It knows a lot about you. So feed it your YouTube channel, feed it your LinkedIn profile, feed it your IG page, feed it your, you know what I mean? Feed it like some of the emails, feed it a resume, feed it your accomplishments. If you put an album out, shit, you need to feed the AI your album. I don't care what year. There's no time. The AI don't recognize time. It's whatever you feed it. They don't care if you put it out 100 years ago. They'll be like, yo, that's a nice album. I like what you did. What else do you want to do?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hmm. Yes, sir.
Hello, I have a
He's
question.
very
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, great. Uh, I am building something where I need um, background checks for customers.
Mm,
And is there something where I can create my own API to access background checks? Or do you know if it's mandatory for me to go through a company that already provides that? And I'm asking because I have already been in contact with a couple of companies, and it's, the information they have given, it seems to be not as user friendly as I would like.
right,
And I had a meeting with someone, a representative from another company, and he suggested that I get someone, in the development of my website, but I'm using Lovable to develop the website. So it's me and
right,
Lovable. So I
right,
essentially would be the person. So I'm
right,
wondering, is there something that I can use, AI wise to get those background checks for customers?
right. So I thank you for that question, because it just I was reminded that I was telling y'all that I was going to drop this on you. So we all know about Shopify, right? So this is the Shopify of APIs, right? And
Every time she want real quick, cause she need a whole thing. Her battery had went out.
mute
You
your
gonna
phone,
ready to check
please.
brother man out. What up, bro?
Mute your phone,
Yeah,
please.
everything good, man.
Um, so yeah, this right here is called Appify, and this is like the Shopify of APIs, right? So where it says you could put anything into that bubble right there, into that search bar, and it will literally pull it up. So right in front of us, we have a TikTok scraper. You can extract data from TikTok videos and everything. You can find the videos that are viral, scrape them, and then clone them. So you could put it towards what you're doing. Instagram scraper, right? They scraping your posts, your profiles, hashtags, photos. These are the scrapers, right? This is what the companies use when they scraping the internet. Um, you can actually build your own API using this site as well. So I would say to you, I would definitely take that question that you asked me and go to Claude, right? And they'll be able to give you all of the TOS, the all of the information that you need. It'll answer all of those questions for you. And then if you even want to integrate that agent into what you're building, especially through Lovable, it'll help you over here, Appify, or Claude will tell you what direction to go in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but definitely come over here and do a little bit of searching and whatnot. And I would say go to Claude first, but definitely get familiar with this site because this is going to be very powerful for anybody that's building moving forward. You really will level up on this site. I'm gonna drop the link one more again.
Are we still using MemoBot?
No. Mm-mm. We traded the Mimu bot for Claude and also for Manus AI. So Manus AI and Kimmy, right? I didn't talk about Kimmy. Kimmy took over for Mimu bot. Let me show you what Kimmy does. Okay. Y'all see that right there? It says Kimmy.
Yeah.
Right. So Kimmy's from China and Kimmy's a problem, right? Kimmy is crazy. Kimmy has their own Kimmy Claw. They have their own claw. So it's called Kimmy Claw. And it's basically, well, this would be better. This is the easier. This and Manus AI is basically a easier open claw. Okay. If you want to just start with a open claw type of program, you could go and get Kimmy Claw. You got to pay for this though. This is not open source. It's Chinese, it's affordable, but it ain't open source. And this thing does coding, it builds websites, it builds slides, very good looking slides and whatnot, slideshows, presentations. It does deep research. It doesn't have some of the restrictions of the American sites because it's Chinese. It does have some guardrails, but not like some of the American ones. Kimmy Code, if you into coding, if you want to do no code building and whatnot, all of that is in Kimmy Code. What else? Uh, it builds websites. Kimmy website, right? I could build a landing page. I could build a website while we're talking right now. I could literally tell it what type of website to build. These are the designs that you could get a template, you know what I mean? Or you could take a screenshot of any website that you want to clone, upload the screenshot, and just tell it to start building, and it will build it to the aesthetics of whatever. You could, it don't matter what, it could be Nike.com, it could be Gucci, it could be Polo. It don't matter. That Kimmy don't care. It's gonna clone it, you know?
So
Uh,
we connect the API key directly through Kimmy.
the API key for what?
Like, cause I'm trying. So I'm a little behind. I was trying to set up with Telegram and MemoBot. Right? Is it the same kind of system?
Manus more so is with Telegram.
Okay. And but the
Yeah.
Kimmy is all in one.
Yeah, Kimmy is more all in one. I don't know if the Kimmy Claw connects to the Telegram. It should though. Let me double check. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't know. Link, run the following command on your OpenClaw device, then click done. Okay, so it links to my OpenClaw. It knows that I have OpenClaw and it will link to it. But yeah, people are definitely using KimiClaw inside of OpenClaw. It's sort of like when Claude was acting up, you could go to either Minimax. Let me show you what Minimax is. So they're replacing Claude with Minimax
Here.
because Minimax is more affordable and Minimax is very powerful. And they're like, you know what? It will do the work for us. So people are going this route. This is another Chinese app called Minimax. This is a beast right here. But like how like I was saying earlier, when Chat GPT came out, a bunch of other stuff came out right after it, but everybody referred to all of that as Chat GPT. That's the same thing with like OpenClaw. OpenClaw was the first of its kind, but as you know, people take shit and they clone it and they build their own versions. So now there's like 5 to 10 other versions of a claw out there, but the original claw will be open claw. That's the OG of this whole thing. But they definitely have competition. They definitely have other companies popping out right now with their versions. But yeah, this right here, as you can see, it has an API. You can access the API. It does a lot. It does a lot. It does video generation, image generation, um is multiple. It has speech. It does clone. You could clone speech. It does music. You can make music like Suno, text, coding. It got the agents, so yeah, it's basically an all-in-one. They built the all-in-one. So there goes the agent. There goes the video. They have video agents, so agents that'll build videos for you, audio. Yeah,
I got a quick question.
yeah.
Hey, so I got OpenClaw set up on my MacBook, and I'm talking to it through Discord, and it's using Anthropic. So basically, I mean, I think you kind of just answered my question. So I want to switch from Claude using Anthropic to using Minimax. So to
Yes.
use that API key and use that in the terminal.
Yes, access the API key, just switch it up, swap out your Claude API, or if you was using Claude Max or whatever, swap it out with Minimax and you'll be all right.
I appreciate it.
No doubt. And you also brought up the fact that you're building with Claude in Discord, right? So
Yep, I'm talking
salutes,
to it
yeah,
through Discord. Yeah.
right. So salute to you because to be honest with you, this is good. Me using Telegram, but the
Yeah,
advantage that Discord has,
Discord, yeah, how it sets up the channels and stuff,
the
and that's
channels,
how as
right?
I'm
So
walking, I have all the different channels set up from this app and stuff I'm building. So like with all the different folders and stuff is set up in certain different channels. So I only talk about it through those different channels. So yeah,
right, right. That's the advantage of Discord. The channels become the agents, or the channels become their own agents. So, like, once again, like with the record label, that I was the idea of the record label. One, the A&R bot or the A&R agent will have his own channel where it's just doing A&R shit. The program director, they'll have their own channel. So it's like before you build a label, you got to study a label that's already winning right now. That's the best way to go to the AI. The AI works better off of data, which is the
yep. And so
equivalent.
as far as this Minimax, so I have to get a subscription to Minimax then too, since I'm not gonna
Uh,
be using Cloud, or is Minimax free?
nah, I don't believe it's free, but it's definitely it's the one of the most affordable on the market right now. That's why everybody's going to them because their API fees are super duper cheap. So I don't think that you got to pay nothing monthly. If you go ahead and get the API is you're going to pay by, let me see what it says. There's a token plan. So you'll be paying by click or something, pay as you go. They got to
Yeah,
pay
so
as you
yeah,
go.
pay. They got to pay as you go too. Yeah, because that's what Claude trying to implement right now, like a pretty much a pay as you go thing.
Yeah, and then they got a token plan as well, right?
Yeah,
So
they
let
just
me
gave me
click on
$20 for that actually.
right. So we're here. It has the token plan on the M27. $10 a month get you 1,500 requests, and $20 a month get you 4,500 requests, and then the max would get you 15,000 requests. You know, when I was on Claude, man, they was giving me that daily limit, shutting me down. You know, that's because so many people are using it and whatnot.
Yeah, that's my issue with Claude right now. I'll just keep on running into them usage limits.
Yeah, yeah. But here it go. You know what I'm saying? It's a good this is, 100 a year for API, 200 for the plus, 500 for the max. You know what I'm saying? Get that out the way. That's why I say it's very advantageous to get a client. You want to go and get these businesses because they're basically going to pay for all of this for you. You know what I'm saying? Go and get the businesses that don't know they need help, but they don't know where to go. That's where you come in with the cape and you offer your services, you offer your advanced knowledge. You might even go to a business and create a 1 week carousel of IG posts for them that the AI generated in 5 minutes. And then go and show them, like, look, you know what I mean? Look what we did for you. Check this out. Run that, and then I'll come back in a week and we'll talk about it. See if we want to put you on retainer. You know? So that's how it's going.
Is there a way with these AI products that you can make like music to video, like your music to video yet? Or is it just still making AI songs and then video?
Nah, nah. I mean, let me see. I had a whole list of the sites that do your music to the videos and whatnot. Nah. You could upload your video and make video. You could upload your music and make videos right now. Um, what's the site that's doing that? Is that Kling? I believe Kling will let you do it. Let me see.
KLING or CLING?
K. Yep. Let me go over by Kling and see. Yeah, but definitely multiple sites allow you to do your own videos now. HeyGen is another one. You could do it with HeyGen. I think even with 11 Labs, they have an aspect of it. Let me sign into this thing. Let me see. Image generation video. All right, let me share my screen so y'all can see what Kling looks like. Now, Kling, to be honest with you, in my humble opinion, is outside of C Dance 2 is the best video generator out right now. Um, there's something called C Dance, and they're hot, they're popping, they're like scorching hot, but it's hard to access it right now. And a bunch of sites are like charging people over fees. So I just tell, can you see it?
I can see the cling. It's got the people on the left and then like the
Mm-hmm.
animation
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
the right. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So all on videos with the babies dancing and stuff like that, that's coming from Kling.
It's coming from cling, huh?
They got something called motion, right? So with motion, you could take a driver video. What's a driver video? A TikTok video with somebody dancing. And then
Mhm.
you could basically put anybody over that video, what you call rapid. You could basically, it's like a filter. You could put a filter on a driver video. So if
Mhm.
there's like videos of the kids doing those dances and whatnot, you could take a picture of yourself. You could take
Mhm.
a picture of your avatar. You could take a picture of anything, and then you could basically lay it. Um, I tried it out. Don't judge me.
But blue, I mean, y'all be making like
Look, So let's say that you had, let's
From
say that,
Chicago, that day it's a little different.
oh, that's the Chicago thing.
So this was made with the clean.
Yeah, this is Kling.
Oh wow.
Kling does
Looking
that.
for me in the whirlwind. They didn't believe in Harvey, but they believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends. Like on the weave of season Barbie. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research. They just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag. That you saw up in Fendi. New Yorker was trendy.
So you could take a clip, huh?
This like just put okay, take a red pill wrap and then put it over that, or did you use the actual music?
Yeah, I uploaded the actual music. What was it, like 30 seconds of maybe 20 seconds? And then I took a picture that I already generated it, and then I just brought it together, and it made that. It just made that boom. You know. So let's say that you have some music that's out there that you got in your catalog and whatnot. All you literally have to do is make clips, and then take images that are like of even make your own image, or you just take images off the internet that are like popping, like certain people that are popping, or certain type of images of, what I'm saying, anything, and then basically do these are like TikTok clips, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. They'll go viral.
Okay.
you know so yeah, Kling does a real good job of animating pictures. So you could upload a static picture and just give it a prompt, and it will create some scenes for you. And once again, they make movies by stitching the scenes together, right? Movies are not made with just one prompt.
Okay.
Movies are made in frames, so they stitch the frames together. So movies are made in frames. So when you get a 5 second frame, you get 25 second frames, and you put them all together. Then you have a fluid. You have a fluid. You have a fluid commercial. You have things that, you know what I mean. Motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dig that. Okay. Thank you. I got
Thank
it. I
you.
got it bookmarked. Thank you so much.
No doubt.
Hey, bro, can I share my screen right quick? I want y'all to see this fight scene that's in this video.
Yep. You could share it. You see the share button?
Yeah, I see the share button, right? So I'm on the share. It say entire screen, but just Chrome tab. Which one? Also share audio. Yeah. All right. Window or Chrome tab?
Chrome tab. There you go.
Boom. All right. Check this out. Y'all see it in here?
Team with 85.
It's here.
Really? Look. I speak from the heart cause I mean it, activities, I've really seen it. And I know it's the reason that I am still breathing, because funerals I've been to plenty and plenty too many. So I got really familiar with a pistol really quickly. Moving and sticking in the city where they killing for pennies, literally. And the misery stemming from poverty, and the poverty got me doing robberies on my own, no camaraderie, and there's no sleep when it's mouths to feed. Responsibilities and I gotta eat, I was blind but now I see. I went from a soldier to a warrior, and a warrior to a king. And I'm taking the bitter with the sweet, focus on my goal, closer to my dream. I can't let nothing hinder me. Now my kids are grown and I found my queen. And I got that fine side of me, cause I've been there hella back to say the least. Spent half my life in the penitentiary, now I'ma let my freedom ring. Look, I refuse to be denied, struggled all my life. I'm a product of the system. Should've died many times, but I'm still alive, so I believe in miracles. 14 years with 85, opened up my eyes and now I'm seeing clearer. I'm saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I'm looking at God when I look in the mirror. I refuse to be denied, struggled all my life. I'm a product of the system. Should've died many times, but I'm still alive, so I believe in miracles. 14 years with 85, opened up my eyes and now I'm seeing clearer. I'm saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I'm looking at God when I look in the mirror. I'm a visionary, not a dreamer. I get my testimony like a preacher. I hear my inner voices and my angels are fighting my demons. They won't be defeated. I speak for my people cause I'm a leader. Got the heart of a lion cause I'm a
That one
leader.
right
Got a
there.
lot on my mind, I gotta free it. Did a lot of time, now they gotta free me. The see is believing. I don't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Couldn't believe where I've been. Now that I pay for my sins, I'm destined to win. I believe off what I talk. Been at the bottom of a shark. Used to be lost, never been taught. I'm going hard. I paid the cost to be under the boss. I'm born unique. Switching up my flow, I broke it down like Cardi B. Then I brought it back to my initial style, and I did it with effortless ease. I'm cool as a breeze. Sharp as a razor, innovative and creative. I'm permanently mentally elevated, cause I feel like falling no relations. Haters constantly trying my picture, but honestly, how can I blame them? I'm a player, shining without even trying. You stagnated cause you playing, I'm saying. I stay in my lane, so I'ma remain ahead of the game. It's simple than plain. I want the money without the complications of the fame. I refuse to be denied, struggled all my life. I'm a product of the system.
That's Gerald.
Times, but I
Got
still
Gerald
alive,
in
so I
there.
believe in miracles. 14 years with 85, open up my eyes and now I'm seeing clearer. I'm saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. I'm looking at God when I look in the mirror. Listen.
Nah, that's fire. What you built that with? That's fire.
Hey, that was a mixture of CapCut,
Midjourney,
Mid Journey, Dream
Right.
Engine, and
Suno. I
and
did Suno
CapCut
on the beats.
and
And
CapCut and
CapCut.
Suno on the
Right.
beats. Bro, she
Yeah, yeah,
made the
yeah, yeah,
beat.
yeah.
I wrote that song when I was down, like 4 months before I got out. I was like, hey, yo, this Cardi B, Bodak Yellow, go crazy. I had a fucking, look, I was rocking MP3 juices from up in there. I was downloading the beats from up in there, rocking it off like that.
Right. Now that's fire. How long did that take you to put together?
Bruh, I did that shit this morning.
I did the beat in between the
I did that
conference.
shit this morning, bro.
I have to like
On
I
everything.
have to force myself to to intercept all of this false matrix stuff, these conferences that I have at
She
the
made the beat at
hospital.
the medical conference. She was in a conference and was
No.
like, man, this shit boring. I'm about to, you feel me?
Nah, that's fire. That's fire. That's how you do it.
So
That's
that's
how you do it.
basically showing what you just explained to me, Red. That's how you do it. What they do.
Right.
And you just take seconds of different videos and you piece them
Put it together. Right. It's really you're stitching. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. I'm gonna take you out of one place before I'm gonna take you out of Google Stitch. Let me go and see what Leslie just dropped though. Thank you for that, Leslie. I forgot all about LTX. LTX is this is something that I want everybody. I would highly recommend LTX because LTX is somewhat of an open source type of thing, right? So they're doing music videos and whatnot. And this once you learn this right here, you're gonna level up. You know what I'm saying? You'll level up because LTX is everybody's talking about it. You know what I mean? It's open source. Okay? It's open source. So it does the YouTube video edits, UGC, which is user generated content. You can sell anything with UGC. TikTok video editor. Okay. So yeah, let me see. Definitely recommend the LTX model. Create stunning music videos. Use LTX Studio as an AI music video generator. Generate cinematic videos to go along with music by syncing visuals to the beat. Yeah, I'm using this tonight. I'm definitely using this tonight. Let me take you out of Google Stitch. Google Stitch is a beast. This is how you can make apps with this right now. They upgraded it. It was kind of janky at first. It didn't really make that much noise, but then They upgraded it, and this shit is a monster. So what Google Stitch does is it creates UI, user interface. You transform ideas into user interface designs for mobile and web applications. Somebody throw an idea out there so we could throw it on the grill, on the Barbie on the grill. I'm gonna type it up real quick. Don't make it super intricate though. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, I'll do it. Crazy. He the king for a reason.
Boom. So yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I've been hearing about the quickness in which it puts things together, and I just want y'all to see it in real time. You feel me? So I told it to create sea moss gel with a vibrant Caribbean aesthetic featuring tropical colors and themes, right? So it kicked that out. I could say, I want it to be bluer with flowers. So one of the thing about like apps and websites is that it's like the designs are somewhat generic and whatnot. And in this digital economy, the UI, the user interface is very important. You know what I mean? That's the thing that captures people. That's what converts. That's what helps to sell products. That's what makes people take your site serious. So this is the upgrade right here, even for those of us that have. I'm about to upgrade my website using Google Stitch and whatnot. So even for those of us that have sites that are already built, imagine how much you would have to pay a website developer to create certain type of UI, user interface and whatnot. A lot of money, a lot of chips. So this right here is heaven sent. We all heaven sent. Let me drop that for you. So let me see. They got examples. Okay. See this example? All right. You could tweak that if you wanted to, but they just showing you what they could do. Just examples. That's what. Um, board game planner. What the hell? Okay, it's like a calendar screen. Cool. Let me drop that in there for y'all. Boom. Yep. So there you have it. Matter of fact, let me drop this as well. I don't know how many people are in our school community, but the school community is where we share a lot of this information on a daily basis. You don't have to wait. We're here daily dropping information. It's a community. We're all learning together and whatnot. We're all basically building and building in public, like building out loud type shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is, you know, doing their thing and whatnot. And then we have a workshop, a paid workshop every Friday that we do where we're basically learning how to build AI film and getting into the AI film. I have some people in the building tonight who are part of that as well. Is my brother Mansa in the building? There's the invite for anybody that wants to sign up. It's free to sign up. Come on board and be a part of the Imaginarium. Bake tune. Okay. Word. All right.
Hey, yeah,
All right.
Bake Tune, right? I put that Bake Tune, I put that in Madness, I think night before last, and it worked, but it won't produce the video. I had it to where not just producing the video, but I was going off of your live the other day, and I was like, man, I threw that shit in there, and I was like, when you said the thing about the portal, that
Yeah.
little 3D portal world, I had it. I wanted to do that, and that's where it kept stalling at. So it fried out, and it stopped doing videos because I tried to be like, man, look, I want to drop the MP3, and I wanted to do videos relevant to whatever the song is about, and create that whatever the term was you used. I was
Right.
live. I was clicking that shit in there.
Right. So Bake tune is an app. Is that what you're saying? Bake tune is an app?
Yeah, Bake Tune is the app, but it don't work.
Okay.
I can't get it. I can't get it to run no more, and it was cooking through too many credits. So I just was like, ah.
Mm.
Sometimes
Right,
managers get
right,
to
right.
acting like a real Negro.
Right. Try LTX though. Get into that, please. You know what I mean? I
LTF.
think you'll be able to master that.
Okay.
Yeah. LTX. The link is in the chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. The LTX tool. Yes, sir. All right, family. So we're going to land this plane. I want to say thank you for everybody for this masterclass. This was masterful. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. We will be sending y'all emails, so look out for that. And with that being said, I want to say thank you to everybody in the building and look out. We have more events coming up and definitely another masterclass. The next masterclass, more than likely, is going to be about monetization. The money way. You know what I'm talking about? The money way, how to really tap into some income streams and what tool stack or what tool deck we could use to do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with that being said, peace, love, and light to the family, and we will see you soon. Salute. All right. Salute
Yes,
to
Shit,
sir.
all
God.
on this 4-4.
Peace.
Everybody. Hey, I'm
Sir.
44 years old.
On that 4-4. You know what I'm talking about? Kicking in the dough, waving the poke.
Thanks,
Shit.
great.
No
Appreciate it.
doubt. Thank you. Thank you all.
Peace out.
Hey, peace.
Gratitude, Red. Gratitude.
Thank you,
Indeed.
Hey,
Red.
Already.
Appreciate it.
hey.
Salute, y'all.
14 with 85. 5. Really? Hey.